Offensive line is John Rankin at center, Glenn Hayes and Marquise Beals at the guards, Ken Bethea and John Williams at the tackles, Ulysses Johnson, one of the receivers, along with Nick Roberson, who will alternate with Lewis Pierce. And again, Boylston at quarterback. Again, Legary and Williams in the backfield. Mitchell and Lloyd will also see some time. 2nd and 15, it'll be a handoff around the right side. That'll be a short gain up to about the 8-yard line, a gain of about 2, and that was Joseph Williams. So Williams, he actually had all his yardage this year last week against Parker. 18 carries, 104 yards, about a 6-yard average and 1 touchdown. So we've actually got Williams on both sides of the ball. I don't think they're related, Joseph and Delvante. So called a gain of 2, 2nd and 8, or actually no, 2nd and 13 for the Commanders. Back to pass, Boylston. He's looking deep down the middle. He's got someone at the 50, and he's going to go all the way for the touchdown. There are no flags on the field. That's not a flag over there, is it? I don't think so.
No.
That's a touchdown.
Wow.
So that's about an 80-yard connection. So just like that, Ed White has taken the lead, 6-3.
That was just man-on-man coverage and just blew right past the defender and Ed White with a quick strike there, just as we were talking about glowing reviews of this Merritt Island defense. Got beat on.
So I want to say that was number 8 on the reception. Joshua Macklin. Okay. We'll double check that. All right, on for the extra point is the kicker, Van Thang. He is 9 for 10 on extra points this year, so he's hoping he's not going to miss his second one. You know, whenever I bring statistics, I don't want to jinx the young man. Signals being called. Thang does not have a field goal yet this year, not even a field goal attempt. The kick is up, line drive is good. A little ugly, but it got through there, and that's all that counts. All right, 6:36 to go in the first quarter. So Merritt Island had the lead briefly for not very long, 3-0, but now Ed White leads it by the score of 7-3. We're not quite through the midway point of the first quarter, 6:36 remaining. So good response there by Ed White to take the lead.
Yeah, exactly the response that you want. I mean, very quick response and a deep throw right across the middle of the field. And after that great drive there by Merritt Island on the first drive of the game, Ed White comes back and goes deep on Merritt Island and now up 7-3 and really kind of, stops the momentum here for the Merritt Island on the beginning part of that drive. And I think the crowd's a little bit
stunned, maybe?
A little bit stunned by that, but still early on, 6:36 to go here in the first quarter, 7-3. Ed White leading Merritt Island Mustangs. We want to make sure we thank our sponsors as well for helping broadcast today's game. We got Erdman Automotive, Eastern Florida State College, All Points, Health First, for all their great support, and also the great people here at Merritt Island who are great. Their great hospitality that they show to us each and every week that we are here, and we appreciate everything that they do to give us everything that we need to do our jobs.
Well, again, at halftime, they always have some great food up here, and it's not the main reason we come here, but I'll tell you what, it's not going to keep us away. So,
that's right.
So we will look forward to that at halftime. Zach and I are busy during the day. Sometimes we don't have that early dinner. We don't have enough time. So compliments to Merritt Island. We appreciate them very much. And, again, that's going to be a big game next week. Merritt Island and O'Galley. That should be the prime game next week, a week from Friday. And, I'm pretty sure we'll be covering that one. That'll be a great game. All right, so we got Tobias Semper and Kamar Felder, who are back deep for the Mustangs. And again, the kicker for Ed White is Van Thang. So Thang teeing up the ball at his own 40-yard line. Again, if you're just tuning in, the Mustangs and kind of their unique-looking uniforms, mostly white with kind of tannish or grayish numbers, white helmets. And again, Ed White kind of looking like the University of Oregon, kind of the green and gold look. I mean, if you're an Oregon fan, you love those uniforms. Unless I'm confusing them with Oregon State. I think this is more the Oregon look.
It's Oregon. Yeah, Oregon State's the Beavers.
And, the Ducks are Oregon, yeah.
That's right.
Don't want to confuse a duck with a beaver these days.
No.
All right, here's the kick. This one will be returned. Taken at the 8-yard line. That is Semper. Up the middle of the field. Makes a couple of cuts. And still on his feet. Look at the young man go. Again, he's not very big. You mentioned that, Zach. But finally gets taken down as a couple more Commanders come in to knock him to the turf.
He's very shifty. He's hard to bring down. And he's, he got that low center of gravity. And he just can be just kind of a nuisance for the defensive players to be able to try to bring down, because he's so quick and he's so shifty that even when he's out on the field, when he's doing the jet sweeps, and he's hard to spot.
I guess Darren Sproles retired, didn't he?
He did, yeah.
I mean, it kind of reminds me of a Darren Sproles type, just very shifty and quick.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right, first down for the 29 for the Mustangs from their own 29. No, it's going to be a quick pass out in the flat to the 30 to the 35, and that'll be a nice gain of about 5 as the ball was caught by Kamar Felder. Is it Felder or Fielder? Fielder. Oh, it's Fielder. Boy, okay, I got to get that name straight. Kamar Fielder with a catch. So gain of 4, 2nd and 6 from the 34. Take a look at the offensive line for Merritt Island here in a minute. Again, they go with the no huddle, so we got to try and squeeze it in. So again, 2nd down at 6 from the 34. Shotgun, Verpale will hand it off, goes to Williams. And Williams with a nice gain. In fact, he's got enough for the first down. He needed 6. He actually got 7. And he gets up to the 41-yard line. Let's recognize the offensive line for Merritt Island. Joey Sonnenberg is the center. 2 guards are Alex Schaefer and Caden Chmielski. The 2 tackles, Andrew Metcalf and Josh Thomas. Got the rotation of receivers. Most of the time it's going to be Dontarius Robinson, Tobias Semper, and then maybe Kamar Felder on the other side. Williams and Hernandez are the backs that'll rotate in and out. Handoff goes to Williams up the middle. Cuts to the right. Nice gain up to the 50 and up to the 48-yard line. That'll be a gain of 11 and another first down for the Mustangs, who had 3 first downs, or maybe it was 4 in their first drive, but they had to settle for a field goal.
Devontae Williams is so fun to watch. He's just so shifty, and he's also got a very low center of gravity. He doesn't blow away with his height, but, man, he just packs a punch. He is like a bowling ball.
He's lined up in the slot. The handoff, though, goes to Williams. And Williams over the 45. Yeah, so you got Williams and Semper. Not very big, but very shifty and very talented. So gain there will be about 4 up to the 45. That'll bring up a 2nd and 6 for the Mustangs from the Ed White 45-yard line. We got 4:37 to go in the first half against 7-3 Ed White. If you're just tuning in, J.C. Myers along with Zach Clark on this Monday night edition of high school football here in Brevard County. So we are relishing the Monday night lights here, although it's still pretty light out. Okay, Verpale, he will run it, 45-40, and he skedaddles out of bounds to the 41-yard line, so that'll be a gain of about 5. It'll be shy of the first down, but it sets up Merritt Island very nicely. It'll bring up a 3rd down and 2.
And we got an injured commander on the directly on the 50-yard line. That doesn't look good. Take a pause here. As,
Again, a very warm evening here at Merritt Island, man. These 6:30 games can be a little rough, but, I mean, 7 o'clock's kind of rough too. So, but we're going to get through it because tomorrow's October 1st.
That's right.
So we got the turning of the months tomorrow.
That's right.
So the not the cold weather, but maybe the cool weather is just around the corner. So, again, they are attending to the Ed White player. We certainly hope he is okay. Well, again, Ed White out of Jacksonville. I mean, I'll tell you, there are a ton of schools out of Jacksonville. I mean, maybe not as many as Orlando, but, Jacksonville, I mean, land-wise, it's one of the biggest cities really in the country. A lot of high schools down there, probably about a 2-hour and 20-minute bus ride down here to Brevard County, and then right back on the bus and back to school tomorrow for the players. So a little inconvenient to play on a Monday night, but really could not be helped. So Ed White, just looking at their schedule, they will have to come back and play immediately on Friday. They're going to play Atlantic Coast, and that'll be a home game in Jacksonville as the players being helped up. And let's see. As I mentioned, O'Galley, that's going to be next week. So Merritt Island has kind of an advantage. They will not have a game this Friday like some teams would. They'd have to come back immediately. So they'll have 11 days to prepare for O'Galley next Friday. So that's a big advantage because, again, O'Galley, very talented club, although they struggled against Titusville. They only won 7-3. Titusville club, the Terriers, under Coach Holmes, not really a bad club, but that was a little bit of a surprise. All right, the Ed White players being helped off the field. He was probably done for the evening. It could be a knee or an ankle. We're only speculating.
Yeah, he's walking very gingerly on that.
Trying to see if that's number 10. But we're not quite sure, so we won't go beyond that. So again, 4:19 to go in the first quarter, 7-3 in favor of Ed White. Again, the first ever meeting between these two teams. I'm sure that Merritt Island has played other high schools out of Jacksonville, but just not this one. Again, this is a young high school, 1971, so they're in their 53rd year, which sounds like a lot, but a lot of schools go back to the 50s and 60s at least. All right, so after about a 5-minute delay, we're going to get back into play here, and the Mustangs, they had a nice drive on their opening segment, but had to settle for a field goal, and now they got a 3rd and 2 from the Ed White 41. They got 2 receivers out to the right, including Semper. Semper motion, and it's a fumble. It's going to be picked up.
Oh, my goodness.
And they have to try and tackle the guy. 35, 30, still on his feet. He could go. He will go. It's a touchdown for Ed White. That is number 2, Joshua Patterson. Again, he is committed to Iowa State. He is considered very athletic, and he had to be athletic on that play to pick the ball up and kind of zigzag down the middle of the field and could not be tackled. So that was about a 46 or 47-yard pickup of a fumble, and he took it in the other direction for the score.
Huge turn of events there, and that is that really hurts if you're a Merritt Island fan and Merritt Island player, because you just got a good drive going. You're getting ready to try to maybe get in a position to maybe get into some get into scoring range, and on your second drive of the game, you give up a fumble return for a touchdown, and now it's 14-3 pending the extra point.
So Van Thang on for the extra point. Signals are being called. Snap is down, kick is up, and the kick is good.
Wow.
So an offensive touchdown on a long pass play by Ed White, and now about a 46-yard run and a fumble recovery by Patterson, and just like that, Ed White leads it 14-3, but we still have a long ways to go in this one. 3:58 to go in the first quarter, but Tyler Murray's got to make some adjustments, and now a little pep talk to try and swing the momentum.
Yeah, when just a couple of unfortunate events there for the Merritt Island Mustangs. You're down 14-3, 3:58 to go here in the first quarter. No time to panic right now, but you definitely need to try to, taking care of the ball tonight's going to be at a premium, especially against this Ed White squad. They're 3-1 for a reason, and this is a team that they come down here from Jacksonville, and they're coming down here, and they're down here to try to get a win. I mean, they're not coming down here to just to play around.
It's not a social visit.
It's not right, and so they're coming here to play, and they're coming here to get a big win. And the thing you also have to consider too is Merritt Island and Ed White are going to be on a short week this week. They got to play on Friday night still, and so
Merritt Island's off till next week.
Okay. Ed White plays.
But Ed White has to come back on Friday. You're right.
Yeah, which isn't going to be easy for a team like that to be able to travel. And
again, they're going to play Atlantic. All right, kick goes to the 14-yard line. It's Semper, cuts it toward the middle of the field, and Semper still on his feet. Nice return. He's something to watch. It's about a 25-yard return to the 39-yard line. So the Mustangs will have a good field position.
Yeah, that's been a common theme here tonight. So this will be the third time they'll be taken over with really good field position now, and that's something that when you can narrow down half the field and you only have to go 50 yards, maybe even 30, 20 yards to even get within field goal range for Liam. that's a huge benefit. But you got to take care of the ball.
Yeah.
And one of the good thing I guess you could say if you're a Merritt Island fan is that the defense for Ed White's been on the field for almost this whole first quarter. So
that's kind of an oxymoron, isn't it?
Right.
Defenses get right back down there. Yeah,
that's right.
All right, so Verpale's still a quarterback, so we haven't seen Sean Hartman yet. I wonder if he's active tonight. I haven't seen him a receiver either. All right, shotgun, Verpale. He'll fake it to Williams. He'll roll out, being pursued by a couple of green shirts, and he has to
throw it away.
He has to get rid of it as Joshua Manklin was in on his face. And there's Mr. Duckett again, big kid, sophomore, Johnny Duckett, number 99. So that'll bring up a second down and 10 for the Mustangs.
Another good decision there. Don't try to force anything. You don't need another turnover right now. Try to force the issue. Be patient. It's still early. There's no reason to get anxious right now. But you do need to start getting some positive yards. And I would like to see them try to maybe establish a run game because they have had a lot of success with that thus far.
So second and 10 for the Mustangs from their own 38. 2 receivers out left, but they go to Williams up the middle. And Delvante with a modest run. Looks like about 4 yards. Up to the 42. So that's going to bring up a third down and about 6. They have to get to their own 48 to get a first. And again, they already have 4 or 5 first downs. They had 4 on that first drive, which unfortunately for them just ended in the field goal.
Yeah.
Then, of course, in the second possession, the fumble and the fumble return by Ed White. All right, so third down and call it about 6. Shotgun Verpale. He's looking near side, and oh, what a catch by Semper. Went up with his hands and pulled it in, and that'll be a first down. That'll be a gain of about 11. What a catch. Wow.
Beautiful catch, and caught the ball at the high point and got a toe inbounds. Only need 1 foot inbounds in high school football, so it did a great job knowing where he was on the football field, getting enough, knowing where the sticks were, and got enough for a first down to continue on this drive, and they're already in Ed White territory.
Coming in, he had 12 catches for 221 yards. So more or less, he averages about 2 catches a game. All right, shotgun, first down for the 46. Oh, he got some movement. I think it's going to be an offsides.
Yeah.
Looks like the Ed White defensive lineman jumped, and that's what it is, offsides. In fact, I think it was Duckett, 99. So that'll bring up the always rare 1st and 5. You don't get too many of those. But if you're on offense, you love it. So again, it really increases the chances of the Mustangs picking up a first down. They only have to get 5 yards.
Gives you a chance to maybe take a deep throw down the middle of the field too. Take a chance.
Let's see what happens. Triple receivers right, but he's looking left, looking deep, and it's Semper with the catch and the touchdown. That will be a 46-yard hookup for Pale to Semper, and just like that, the Mustangs get right back into it. Not that they're totally out of it, but they get closer. It's now 14-9 with the extra point coming up.
That was number 4 for the.
Oh, it's Robinson? Oh. So Robinson with the catch?
Excellent job there by Robinson, and just beat his man and on the outside edge, one-on-one coverage, and beautiful job at locating the ball and getting the feet in bounds, and that was exactly what the doctor ordered for the Merritt Island Mustangs to be able to respond back from that fumble return for a touchdown.
All right, extra point. Miller, again, he's a left-footed soccer-style kicker. He kicks it through there, and that makes it 14-10. So we've combined, had 24 points scored in the first quarter. So we would be on a pace for 96 points if that keeps up. That would be a lot of points. That'd be more than the UCF-Colorado disaster if you're a UCF fan like I am. Because Colorado scored, I think it was 56 or 58. So we'll see what happens. But both offenses getting off to a good start and a good bounce back by Merritt Island. I think they're real disappointed with that field goal in their first drive. They probably felt they should have scored 6, but only down by 4.
Only down by 4, and you'll be able to kick off, get your defense their second possession. That they'll be able to go out there on the field, and I know they want to try to rectify that 80-yard bomb by Ed White on the first drive.
Yeah.
But it was exactly the response that you needed, that you wanted to see from Merritt Island, and really impressed by Verpale and his demeanor and how calm he is in the pocket and doesn't make too many bad decisions. He's really careful with the ball, and he's also got a great arm, as you just saw right there.
Oh, yeah.
Flinged it about 40 yards across the field. That's probably about a 55, 60-yard throw.
Well, Verpail is more the thrower. Yeah, Verpail is more the thrower, and then when Hartman plays quarterback, he's more the rusher. So, kind of a nice combination to have. Again, we haven't seen Hartman yet. He usually will see some time at quarterback and wide receiver, but it's been Verpail so far, and this one will be hit into the end zone. Nice kick there by Miller. Automatic touchback. It'll come out to the 20-yard line. Well, we do have a bit of a breeze blowing up as I look at Old Glory behind the scoreboard. A good 5 to 8 miles per hour, but hopefully we'll start feeling it up here in the press box. But it's blowing from west to east. Otherwise, not a bad night.
It's definitely cooled down since that sun went down. That'll be much easier on the boys out there on the field because it was getting a little hot there for when we first started the game, but it's cooling off a little bit now.
Looking forward to the cool days in October, so we have at least 5 more weeks of the high school season. Well, actually 6, including this Friday. Either 5 or 6, but the weather should be cooling down, and that's football weather. Once again, King Boylston, who did not play on the team last year, just a sophomore. He is the quarterback, number 9. And again, he has an offer from Florida Atlantic, so we hope that works out for him. Okay, it's a little reverse, and it's a pass, a double pass play, and it's incomplete. And we got a flag down.
Wow.
Reaching for the ball was 0 Nick Roberson, trying to take the ball away from the defensive back, who was, looks like William Bulati. And I guess it's going to be defensive pass interference or offense. Let's see.
I think it's going to be probably defensive pass interference, but it's not the worst penalty, especially if you're going to get beat. You're going to get beat deep. In high school it's only 15 yards, so better to take the 15-yard penalty as opposed to giving up a 35, possibly a touchdown, a 35-yard gain or more. Yeah. So,
well, again, Roberson was the defender on the play, and or actually no, he was the guy on Ed White. He tried to reach over. I was surprised maybe it wasn't called on him. Anyway, first down from the 34 and a handoff and nothing doing there. That went to Joseph Williams, and Merritt Island was all over that play, led by number 24, Finn Sinclair, who was second on the team in tackles, coming in with 44. That's his first one of the night. So that'll bring up a second down. He lost 4, so 2nd and 14 for the Commanders, as they're known, from their own 32. And like Merritt Island, they go with a no huddle. They line up quickly. Shotgun Boylston. Oh, we got some movement. This is going to be an offsides, I believe.
Yeah.
On Merritt Island.
99.
So, 99, I hate to mention his name, Cameron Clements. Jumped a little bit too soon before saying, "Mother, may I?" So that'll bring up a second down and about 8 from their own 37. Clock ticking, 1:08 to go first quarter, and again 14-10. Ed White. Boylston will hand it off at the middle. Big hole up to the 50-yard line.
Wow.
And that'll be a gain of about 12, and that was number 4, Joseph Williams. So both Williamses on their respective teams getting a lot of carries tonight.
Massive hole that Ed White offensive line created. You could have drove a map bus through that hole right there. It was a great job by the offensive line there by Ed White, just opening up that hole, separating. Ball's on the turf.
There's a low
early movement.
Yeah, there's a low snap and more early movement. Let's see who this is on. That's a false start on Ed White. Okay, so a little sloppiness with the penalties. I mean, not many, but a few here in the first quarter, 42 seconds to go. So that will back up Ed White to their own 44. They have to get to the 41 of Merritt Island. So call that 1st and 15. Double receivers out to the right. One man in the backfield behind Boylston. That's Williams. He'll get it up the middle. And he'll gain maybe 2 with forward progress. That Merritt Island defensive line pushing him back a bit. As 57 got in there, Chase Kramer. And that'll be a short gain to the 47. So call it second down and about 12 as number 60 checks in. Alex Schaefer on defense. at defensive tackle. Schaefer's also the starting left guard, so he's seeing a little bit of two-way action. And that's the end of the first quarter. So the first quarter came pretty quick. The end, it's 14-10 in favor of Ed White.
Very, very entertaining first quarter of this game. A lot of points scored, and both teams looking very solid on both sides of the ball. Obviously, the one turnover by Merritt Island is the reason why Ed White is ahead right now, 14-10. But a good response there by the Merritt Island offense on the preceding possession to get a touchdown and to answer back and bring this within a one score.
Yeah, I got a little interesting note here about Ed White. So, you know, when you think of the famous astronauts, Alan Shepard and, of course, Buzz Aldrin, he's locally here in Brevard County. He's done wonderful things with Florida Tech. But Ed White was a U.S. Air Force lieutenant colonel. That's quite a status. And a NASA astronaut. Boy, how would you like to have a life like that? You make it up to lieutenant colonel, and you're an astronaut. That's a good life. And he was the first American to conduct a spacewalk. Now, he was tragically killed during a pre-launch test way back in 1967. I was only 6 years old back then. And that was aboard Apollo 1. So maybe he's a little bit lost in history with, you know, people like Michael Collins, Alan Shepard, Buzz Aldrin. But Ed White, the name of the high school in Jacksonville.
What year was that? What year was?
Well, he died in 1967 in a pre-launch test aboard Apollo 1.
All right, so I'm doing the math right now on your age now that you just kind of revealed it. You said you were 6?
I was about 6 years old, yeah.
Okay.
Wasn't quite 6. Actually, May I would have
Everybody
been
at
6.
home's doing the math right now.
Yeah. Actually, I was about 5.5. So I was just a spot in the whole universe back then. So anyway. Thanks for bringing that up, Zach. I really appreciate it. Now people can figure out my age, but I'm 63. Look, there you go.
Yeah, there you go. Hey, that's right. Own it. Hey,
okay,
you just gotta own it.
I'm owning it. I'm happy. I'd rather be 53. But anyway, second quarter, they switched sides of the field, left to right, and we got another flag. So new quarter, but same old laundry. So false start on Ed White. They'll be backed up. So seems like we have a lot of false starts tonight. We have we've had one pass interference. But the false starts and the offsides are kind of costing both teams. So again, Ed White moving left to right on your video screen. Merritt Island from right to left. Again, green uniforms, gold helmets, gold numbers for the visiting Commanders from Jacksonville. And for Merritt Island here in Brevard County, white uniforms with either tannish or grayish numbers. I'll call it tan. And white helmets. Again, special uniforms. Second and 15 for Ed White from their own 42. 3 receivers right side. Direct snap Boylston will take it up the middle. Big hole, 45, and to the 43-yard line. Nice run by Boylston. And that'll be a gain of about 14 up to the 42-yard line of Merritt Island. And trying to think, is that the first down for Ed White, or maybe their second? They haven't had too many. Again, they had the fumble recovery for a touchdown. Then they had that long pass, which kind of took up that other drive. So, okay, first down as Boylston looks toward head coach Lawrence Robinson for the information. Again, shotgun, 2 receivers right and left. Here comes the snap, and we got the football follies again. Actually, we got a timeout, Merritt Island. So Tyler Murray could see that it was not the right defensive formation, and he uses one of his 3 timeouts.
Good timeout right there. You know, it's 3rd down and 2 right now. You have a chance to maybe force Ed White maybe into a 4th down if you can give him a stop right here. And you're right near midfield, and want to make sure that you have all your defense buttoned up right now. With don't want to give up a big play at this moment, but you also want to try to get off the field here. And maybe we'll see the first punt of the game. But first things first for Merritt Island. Got to get a stop here to be able to force Ed White in that situation. And what's been very successful for Ed White, they passing. You know, maybe a deep throw on the outside edge has been looking like Merritt Island's been running a man-on-man coverage. That might be an opportunity for them, but. For Merritt Island, trying to get some pressure maybe on the quarterback. They haven't really gotten to a whole lot of pressure on the quarterback early on, and I'd like to see maybe if they could try to get some pressure on the quarterback and kind of force him to throw that ball a little bit sooner than they would like.
Yeah, let's see. You got Campbell and Hasty out there amongst the secondary. You got Jordan and Peterson, 2 of the corners. All right, 3rd down and 2. Handoff up the middle. Williams, he will have the first down with forward progress. He'll be driven back, but he had to only get to the 41. He got to the 40, 1 yard more than necessary, and that'll be a 3-yard gain. And two very quick first downs for the Commanders. Finn Sinclair in on that last stop for Merritt Island. If it's not Sinclair, it's usually Herrick. Those are the two leading tacklers on that Mustang defense. Again, you got Howell, Clements, Coughlin, and Smith along the line. Herrick and Sinclair, the linebackers. Jordan and Peterson at the corner. Zach Olson comes in occasionally. Campbell and Mingo, along with Bulati in the secondary. So first down from the 40. Boylston completes the pass, left side, and caught, and it looks like he's got enough for the first down. Ball caught by number 8, I believe that is, if I'm reading the number right, Joshua Macklin. He'll gain about 11.
Missed tackle there on the outside edge there by Merritt Island. It's going to be so important for Merritt Island to be able to wrap up here tonight. And this looks like it's going to be a little bit of a track meet type game. And making sure that you wrap up and you tackle and take the man down. Now that first point of contact is going to be really crucial here tonight because Ed White likes to spread you out a lot, and if you miss a tackle, there's not going to be too much help right behind you.
So first down, Ed White from the Mustang 29, back to pass Boylston. He's looking deep toward the end zone, but he's going to overthrow his man, and that is Landon Francis, who has 18 catches for 342 yards on the air, so he's been one of the prime guys for Boylston this year, but Boylston overshooting him, and there are those two talented men in the secondary from Merritt Island back deep, Jordan and Peterson on the coverage.
If you're Ed White, you're going to circle that play because Ed White had Merritt Island beat for a couple steps on that. That was just a little bit too much English on the ball for the quarterback, and just kind of overthrew his wide receiver in the back of the end zone, but had a couple steps on Merritt Island defense.
So second and 10 for the Commanders. Handoff at the middle, maybe a yard. Not much gain there. That's going to bring up a third down and about 9.
This could be 4-down territory here for Ed White. I don't necessarily think they got too much confidence in their kicking game at this point for if they don't get any yards here, we'd be looking at about a 45-yard field goal. So you almost got 2 downs here to get 8 yards. And Merritt Island should be thinking about that.
So they have to get to the 19, so it is third and about 8. Once again, 2 receivers out to the right. Williams alongside Boylston. Boylston back to pass, throws far side, and it's incomplete. And it was intended for Macklin.
It was a pretty good throw, and actually it probably should have been caught by the wide receiver. A little bit of a tough catch there for a high school wide receiver, but it touched his hands, and he was right there where beyond the sticks. It would have been a first down, probably should have been caught, but now a decision time, and it is going to be 4-down territory here for Ed White.
Yeah, this would be a 44-yard field goal if they wanted to try it with Thang. Thang does not have a field goal attempt this year, so yeah, they'll just go for it. In the NFL, you'd probably kick a field goal here or in college, but these are high school kids, so not a terrible thing if they don't make it. So they will try it here on 4th and 8. Boylston has time. Being pursued, throws, caught, and that'll be a first down. And the man still on his feet, making a great effort is Ulysses Johnson. I think a Ulysses Grant, but this is Ulysses Johnson. You gotta love that first name. That'll be a gain of about 12 and first down for the Commanders.
Missed opportunity there for the Merritt Island Mustangs. A 4th and 8 opportunity to get off the field, and the drive continues. And now they're in the Erdman Automotive red zone. And if you're Merritt Island, this drive is approaching 4 to 5 minutes right now.
Yeah, first down play, and it's a handoff. Not much there. Joseph Williams, maybe a yard. One of the people getting in the stop, Jace Jordan, the senior cornerback. So actually called no gain. Didn't gain anything. It'll be 2nd and 10. It'll be 2nd and 10 from the 13. So they're 13 yards away from the end zone. They could get a first down if they get it to the 4. So 2nd and 9. So Boylston all the way over to the bench to get the play. So it's Johnson and Francis out to the right. Johnson is the near sideline guy, and then the slot is Francis. So 2nd down and actually called 8. Handoff, Williams around the left side. Looked like it could have been a horse collar, nothing called. Could have been close. Anyway, he gets about 3 or 4 yards out of that. Probably should have been stopped for about a 1-yard gain, but was able to get away and get a couple more. So called about a 3 or 4 yard gain. And right now, very reasonable. Third down and about 3 from the 8. They quickly line up. Again, no huddle for both these teams. Boylston, though, will look over the sideline. So it's no huddle, but that doesn't mean they snap it right away.
Oh, a big size advantage on the top side of your screen.
All right, handoff Williams around the right side. He'll gain maybe 2, and he gets inside the 5 to about the 4. So remember the Chip Kelly experiment with the Eagles way back when? That didn't work out very well, did it?
No.
That was actually not even a no huddle, but you get up and you snap the ball immediately. Here,
All right.
you know, they wait for guidance from the sideline, so it doesn't allow much time to substitute if you're the defense. All right, so actually this will bring up 4th down and 1. So they're 5 yards away from the end zone, but they're only really less than a yard from a first down. So let's see if it's a running play here. Boylston does have Williams behind, and Merritt Island, I think they jumped offside.
Yeah.
And they did, and that's going to be a first down. It'll be half the distance to the goal line, but they only need like a half a yard. So
it's going to be a first down and goal now, and that is just a major kick in the head.
Tyler Murray will not like that, I'll tell you.
That's 2 fourth down conversions here near the red zone, and on this drive for Ed White, and now it's an opportunity for them to just kind of line up and power this one in.
I think the Mustangs had plenty of time to line up. I don't know why they're getting so jumpy out there. I mean, they had time to get set, and they just kind of jumped way too early. So
sometimes you're trying to get an early start, trying to disrupt that play into the backfield, and you just get a little antsy, and it's stuff like that where you want to be able to at least make Ed White work for it. Don't give it to him with an offside like that. And
so it's going to be first and goal from the 2. So another great opportunity for Ed White to extend their lead, and we got a timeout.
Timeout, Ed
and
White.
It goes against Ed White. So each team's used a timeout in this first half. So they 2 remaining, 6:29 to go in the first half. So after a kind of a track meet in that first quarter where the 2 teams scored 24 points, we're still looking for a second quarter score, and it could come at any moment. For Ed White, 14-10, and we're about midway through the quarter, 6:29.
Well, bend, don't break. If you're Merritt Island, they've gotten down here into the goal, near the goal line, so it's where you can put a stand on and try to make a statement for the Merritt Island defense. This would be a huge stand for them. But first things first, no penalties, and for a Merritt Island team that has usually been really sound defensively, and when it comes to penalties and turnovers in recent years, a little uncharacteristic here, at least for the times that I've seen them this year, of how many penalties they've had thus far. But it's definitely something that to keep an eye on. But for Merritt Island right now, you're still only down by 4 points, and this is where you can put a great stand and merely make a statement as a defense with first down and goal here from the 3-yard line.
Okay, so the Commanders line up, direct snap, and that's going to be let's see, is he in? He's in. Touchdown. That was a direct snap to 21, Julian Holt, who's listed as a strong safety. I don't think he's a guy that plays a lot of offense, but a little bit of a gadget play there. And that's a 2-yard run by Holt, and it's now 20-10 in favor of Ed White.
Yeah, they kind of just brought in a jumbo package. They brought in a couple extra offensive linemen, and you kind of knew that they were going to do a power run on a direct snap based upon the formation that they were showing right there, and just kind of overpowered Merritt Island on the defensive front, powered their way into the end zone going up.
So Van Thang on for the extra point.
That's blocked.
And the kick is blocked, so no good. Lewis Pierce was the holder.
Circle that one, JC. That's a blocked extra point. Games like this, with especially how Merritt Island's kicking game is, that could be a really significant point right there.
So again, 20-10, so just a 10-point lead for Ed White, but showing pretty good offense. So again, they lost to Trinity Christian Academy 21-18 in their season opener, but bounced back with 3 impressive wins. West Side 20-0, Inglewood, which is over on the west coast of Florida, about the Sarasota, Fort Myers area, 51-6. They won that one, and then they beat Parker at home. Parker, another school in Jacksonville, 21-6. So they have scored at least 20 points in all 4 of their wins. and they really haven't given up hardly anything. The 21 to Trinity Christian, they gave up, but they have one shutout on the year. So, I mean, it's a pretty well-rounded team. Good offense, good defense. Good skill people.
You said their only loss was to Trinity Christian Academy?
Yes, 21-18. That was their season opener. And that was at home. So
that's very impressive. Even though it was a loss, Trinity Christian Academy has traditionally
they're usually pretty good, aren't they? Yeah.
Put out a lot of D1 athletes over the years.
Right. All right, here we go with the kickoff, and it's a little squib kick, about 20 yards up the field. High hop taken at the 35-yard line. And a nice return of about 9 yards.
Just great field position once again here for the Merritt Island Mustangs. It's nice to start your drives near midfield.
That was Finn Sinclair, who's a very talented inside linebacker, but he's another guy that doesn't get his hands on the football very often. So he was one of the up people on the kickoff, and he was happy to have the ball in his hands. Something that doesn't happen very often, and took it about 9 yards. So Mustangs will have good field position, a first down from their own 44. I kind of get the feeling this could be a water break midway through the second quarter as both teams are huddling on their respective sides. Again, Lawrence Johnson, the sixth-year head coach for the Commanders. He was actually an assistant coach from 2006 through 2014, and then he went away for a few years, and then he came back and eventually got the head coaching job. Again, 2014 when he was an assistant. That is the longest playoff run that the Commanders have had. They lost to Chockahatchee in the third round, and that was 10 years ago. But they have made the playoffs the last 4 years, including one second-round appearance. So a pretty good program up in Jacksonville where they play some pretty good football.
A great opportunity here for the Merritt Island Mustangs, starting at their own 44-yard line. Great field position, being able to try to maybe respond after the touchdown drive here for Ed White.
So first down from the 44, shotgun Verpale, 3 receivers out to the left. It'll be a hand. Oh no, it'll be a pass up the middle, caught, and down to still on his feet, up to the 29-yard line. Nice inside play there.
Sean Thomas.
And that was Sean Thomas. So calculating the yardage, that's a gain of about 28. So
Deshaun just blows you away. He's only a sophomore, and he's 6'3", 220 pounds. He is a great size for only being a sophomore, and he's one of the bright spots of this Merritt Island offense.
Here's Verpale going deep, wide open. It's a touchdown to number 4, Dontarius Robinson. So that is the second touchdown reception by Robinson tonight. That's his. That's his second and third touchdowns of the year. He only had one touchdown coming in, and right back in it are the Mustangs as they make it 20-16 with the extra point coming up.
Going to be a high-scoring game here tonight, JC. With the way this game's going thus far, we are. I don't know if we're going to eclipse your 96-point mark, but we are well on our way.
Well, we're on a pace for about 40 or 96 points. Don't know if we'll get there. Oh, we got a flag down. You should never. Verpale gets kind of knocked down. I don't think that was intentional by number 6, Devontae Mango.
This is an offside. This will be curious to see if maybe Merritt Island takes this on the kickoff, or they want to do this on the extra point.
Yeah, I guess you have the choice here. So
yeah, you could actually go for a 2-point conversion and take the penalty, or you could enforce it on the kickoff. But
the official waiting to see what Tyler Murray wants to do.
With points being a premium right now, and since Ed White missed their extra point, I know you would go up. You would only be down a field goal. Wouldn't be surprised maybe if they try to go for a 2-point conversion here. That's only on 1 yard line now.
Let's see what happens. Well, I don't see Miller. Oh, no, Miller is out there. Okay, so Verpale will be the holder for Miller, and they'll just go for the extra point. So it looks like this will be assessed in the kickoff. Looks like it's a regular spot, so 20-yard extra point. All these points are important. Again, Ed White just missed one. Kick is up, and the kick is good.
Nice.
So it is a 3-point deficit for the Mustangs, but they closed it within 20-17 with 5:41 to go in the first half. So the cheerleaders in front of us getting a good workout, the Merritt Island Mustang cheer squad. I'm looking for the flag person to come out and run up and down with that flag.
Buster Beal, yeah.
You know him? Or?
Yeah. He's a Space Coast Sports Hall of Famer.
Buster Beal. Huh?
Yeah,
Okay.
Buster Beal.
All right.
I didn't see the flag, though, yet.
Hey, he did it earlier. Maybe he's taking a little bit of an extended break, but
20-17, though. What a way to respond there for Merritt Island. A very quick drive right there. You can take over at your own 44-yard line and march 56 yards down the field in, less than a minute?
Yeah, I mean, both teams looking pretty good. Got to clean up the penalties a little bit on both sides, but looks like we could have a very entertaining game tonight. Speaking of entertaining, I'm not really shocked.
There he is.
Oh, there he is, Buster Beal with the Mustang flag. Look at him run. Look at the guy go. Boy, Alabama, Georgia. What a crazy game that was. Coming from those two teams, I'm not surprised. But that was a classic on Saturday night.
It was.
And they might be meeting a little bit later on in an even more important game. But Alabama actually held on.
They might meet 3 times this year.
Yeah, championship game and then the playoffs.
Right.
Which were just 12 teams. Yeah.
It's crazy to think about college football playing 3 times in a year.
You know, Alabama led 30-7. You figured the game was over, and Georgia came back, but then Alabama was able to get the winning touchdown and win by a few points. All right, kickoff by Miller. Gets his left foot into it. Medium-sized kick, but actually it's going to go in the end zone. Wasn't it very high in the air, but goes in the end zone, so automatic touchback, and Ed White will come out and have a first down from their own 20.
Another Brevard County native, Raheem Sanders with the South Carolina Gamecocks, the starting running back, has been really showing out with South Carolina this year.
And he went to school where?
He went to school at Rockledge, and
really?
He has really been doing really well
nice.
with South Carolina. First started out at Arkansas and had some success early on, and then
got tired of the pig suey, I guess.
Got tired of the pig suey and decided to move to the Gamecocks. But he has been doing really well. He just recently, a couple weeks ago, he had almost 200 yards rushing, and that's amazing in college football at any level to be able to run for over 200 yards. But also Brady Denenberg here, another Merritt Island.
Playing at Syracuse,
Playing at Syracuse and doing a great job.
Here's a pitch play, and it goes to Joseph Williams. Again, we got Williams on the Merritt Island side, and we got Williams on the Ed White side, and both are very talented. And Joseph with the carry, he's going to gain close to 8 yards, actually 9. Call it 2nd and 1 for Ed White from their own 29. Keep in mind, both teams have used a timeout, so Ed White's got 2 timeouts, and so does Merritt Island. And not too bad with 5:10 to go. You always like to try and save those timeouts for the nitty-gritty part of the game, but they still have 2 remaining each team. Handoff, Williams again around the left side, trying to get outside, but he is denied, and that is Finn Sinclair against second leading tackler behind Herrick. 44 tackles coming in, and he has at least 2 tonight.
This is a big third down here. You do not want to get a penalty here, so that make sure that this, Ed White's going to try to draw them off sides here on a 3rd and short. But if you can be able to get a stop here, this would be huge. And remember, Ed White did defer to the beginning of the game, so they do have the opportunity to kind of have a 2-for-1 situation here if they so choose. So
3rd down and 1, 2 receivers right, including Francis, but a handoff at the middle to Williams, and he'll easily have the first down. He gained about 6. He only needed 1, but he gets up to the 36-yard line, so a first down for the Commanders.
That's why I think on this drive it's going to be so important for Merritt Island to at least, hold them to a field goal. You do not want to give up a touchdown because Ed White is going to get the ball at the beginning of the second half, and you could have a situation where they could possibly roll up by 3 possessions if they were to get a touchdown on this drive and then get the ball at the half. So really delicate situation here for Merritt Island. Want to be very sound.
3 receivers out to the left. Boylston in trouble. He gets away. We got a flag down. It could be maybe holding. We'll see. But Boylston might have avoided the sack. We'll have to see where they spot it, but it's a penalty against Ed White.
You might want to accept this if you're head coach Murray. I know you got the sack, but it was only about a 2-3 yard sack. It would be a loss of down and 2nd down, but
let's see how good he's signaling again. Holding penalty on Ed White. I think that's our first holding penalty on either team.
Yeah.
I would think that's the penalty that's most commonly called, probably even in the NFL. But I think that's our first holding of the night. It's been mostly offsides and false starts tonight, which I guess isn't much better, but holding is 10 yards, so it goes back to the 26. So they have to get to the 41, so it'll be a first down at 15 for Ed White from their own 26-yard line. Clock running, 3:37 to go in the first half, and we got a good one here, 2017 Ed White. Again, keep in mind the Commanders do have 2 timeouts to utilize, double receivers each side. Pitch, the pass by Boylston is incomplete, intended for Macklin, and good coverage there by Zach Olson. He was right on him.
Nice job there by the Merritt Island secondary. Draped right on the wide receiver right when he caught that ball, made it very difficult. And you notice about Ed White, they like to spread you out. I mean, they take up a lot of the field. You can look at their wide receivers.
He calls it a spread offense.
Yeah.
I asked Lawrence Johnson what is it, and he told me a spread offense. So you're right on target there. Handoff up the middle, and not much there, maybe a yard.
A great opportunity here for Merritt Island to get off the field. Third down and about 18.
That was actually Rontrez Floyd on his first carry. It's been really all Joseph Williams. Rontrez Lloyd, Lloyd, not Floyd, only a freshman. So he's got some time to develop his game, but Williams is a junior. He's got one more year.
Ed White's going to take a timeout here and probably try to think about maybe of a play that maybe they could run to try to get this first down. If you're Merritt Island, really got to be on your P's and Q's and make sure that take anything away that they're going to try to go over the top, because you just get the feeling that they've had some success with that tonight. And when they spread you out like that, you're usually in.
So the utilization of the timeouts has been pretty good. So, I mean, both teams took one earlier. Ed White takes their second one. They still have one to go, and there's 2:48 to go, so they probably only need one timeout. And again, Merritt Island has 2. So if you use one early, maybe that's not too bad, but you want to try and save those for the critical parts of the game.
Absolutely.
All right, so quick timeout.
Well, you can expect if Merritt Island gets a stop here that they would be calling the timeout, give themselves enough time, and should get relatively decent field position depending on what happens on this play.
So let's see, called third down, and oh boy, they have to get all the way to the 46. So this is third and long. Shotgun. Boylston has time. He's throwing it deep down the middle, but he's overshooting everybody, including the Merritt Island defenders. Back deep defensively once again was Olson.
Good job there by the Merritt Island secondary once again. They were all over that. They were not beat deep, and they were ready for that. They had a couple people over the top that were prepared for that, and that brings up a fourth down, stops the clock. So Merritt Island will save their timeouts, and good opportunity here with to get some good field position with Robinson back to receive for the Mustangs.
So Van Thang with his first punt of the night. He stands on his own 15-yard line. And let's see, back deep is number 4 for the Mustangs. That is Robinson, who has 2 touchdown receptions tonight. So he's had a pretty good night, and he's looking for a big punt return here.
Kind of kicking into the wind a little bit, so you do have that advantage if you're Merritt Island.
Signals being called against the line of scrimmage at 28 on this fourth down punt, and it's a pretty high snap, and we got whistles being called.
Probably lucky there was whistles.
Yeah,
because
false start.
Merritt Island, that was a very high snap, and Merritt Island was all over that, looking like they were getting ready to tackle the punter or block it.
I'll tell you, Thang, the punter, showed some pretty good bounce. Got it, jumped up and went back and caught it. He did a nice job, but it was a false start anyway. So, this is fourth down and a cab ride.
A little shakiness from the special teams at Ed White. May want to try to block this if you're Merritt Island.
It's fourth down and 22.
Another high snap.
He gets it off and kind of a knuckleball kick. And this will take maybe a 3 or 4 yard bounce, goes out of bounds. So not a very long kick, maybe about 25 yards. And Merritt Island will take over in very good field position. Again, they got 2:27 left in the half. They have 2 timeouts, and they only trail by 3.
I mean, that's been the story of this game thus far, has been Merritt Island's field position here in this game. They have been starting every possession near midfield, and that's just a huge help to your offense. Your odds at putting points up on the board when you only got to go half the field are immensely improved when you can have the opportunity to only, when you're going half the distance that you need to go.
So I don't think Sean Hartman played at all in the first quarter. He's lined up as receiver. Again, he sometimes he'll be at quarterback, but Verpail has gone the whole way at that position. And then when Hartman plays quarterback, Verpail's usually a receiver. Again, they kind of flip-flop. So first down for the 46. Verpail, fake pass. He actually did hand it off. And it goes for maybe about a 4-yard gain. And I think that was Delonte Williams.
We have a flag here on the near sideline by the near sideline judge. So clock is stopped with 2:15. Check the flag, maybe in the position of a procedural penalty. A sideline warning.
Oh.
Merritt Island. Wow.
So I think it's a warning on the first time, right?
Correct. That's the first warning. It's the second time.
So they're not going to move the ball. Okay.
No.
All right, that's good to have a warning on that. Just don't do it again. All right, second down at 7 for the Mustangs from the 42.
Lots of time here for Merritt Island. You have a couple timeouts to play with. It's 2:15 to go. Clock is rolling, but you're in decent shape. You do not want to give Ed White the ball back again. So you'd love to try to go down here and put some points up on the board with hardly any time left.
Well, Patterson defensively for Ed White's going to pick up Robinson, who has 2 touchdown passes. So you got to be wary of that if you're Ed White. You don't want Robinson to beat you again. But again, a lot of talent with Semper on the other side.
That's what Robinson is calling for. He is like, I'm one-on-one down here.
Pick your poison.
Yeah.
There's a pass out to Hartman, and he catches it. So that's one quarterback to another quarterback, or a wide receiver to another wide receiver. Whatever you want to look at it, they alternate those positions. So nice gain there.
These defensive backs for Ed White are kind of on an island right now. You can sense that there's a little anxiety here with these defensive backs being matched up with these wide receivers right now. That's why Robinson's was jumping up and down, saying that he had one-on-one coverage on the bottom end. So keep an eye on that. Number 4 for Merritt Island.
So that was a gain of 10. That's a first down for the Mustangs. First down from the Ed White 34 with 1:42 remaining. Got motion. Oh, there's a hot potato. Get the sour cream out, but Verpail gets it back, and it'll actually turn something into nothing, or nothing into something, but we got a flag down. Wow, that was an interesting play. Jeez. That was like a jack-in-the-box. The ball went high up in the air, and Verpail was lucky enough to catch it, but we got a flag. Let's see what the flag is.
He was very fortunate to grab that because Ed White was ready to come down with that as well, and they would have taken it back to the end zone. Oh, we got ourselves a flag here, probably in the position of a hold.
So holding penalty, Merritt Island. You know, I'll tell you, if Merritt Island wins this game, that play should be on the video at their football banquet, because then they can kind of laugh about it. But if you lose the game, maybe you don't play that. Right. So, but I mean, that was really strange. It popped up in the air and for Verpail. We thought it was going to be a bad snap and maybe eventually be a fumble. But
felt like it was up there forever if you're a Merritt Island fan. But it's, for Ed White, it couldn't come down any sooner.
Again, the football follies. We've had a few of those plays tonight. So they back it up to the 40. They have to get to the 24. So kind of a rare thing here. 1st and 16. You don't get too many of those in a game. Again, they're at the Ed White 40. Again, 1:32 remaining. 2 timeouts for the Mustangs as they look to either get in field goal range for Miller or try and take the lead, which they have not had yet tonight. Shotgun, Verpail. And hands it off. Williams does a 360. Nice run there. And
nice.
He'll be shy of the first down, but he's going to gain about 9 up over the 30. And we've got a injured Ed White player who is not getting up right away. He's writhing in pain, so we'll have an injury timeout.
We also had a timeout by Merritt Island. They called a timeout right when that play was over. So it'll be interesting to see if they charge Merritt Island with the timeout or if they're going to go with the injury timeout.
Yeah, that is interesting. And maybe you can use another timeout with 1:23 to go. So we'll check on that. The breeze is starting to pick up a little bit. Old Gloria is getting a little bit of a workout above the scoreboard, blowing toward the Atlantic Ocean. So again, we hope you had a good September because we wish you a happy October tomorrow.
That's right. October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, so you'll see members of the Friday Night Locker Room and members of Space Coast Daily will be donning some pink shirts in support of Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
Oh, nice.
And Steve and Orville have always made that a tradition, and I think we've all had somebody who's been impacted by with breast cancer. So it's
my mother,
it's a good opportunity
a while
to
back. Yeah.
kind of raise awareness, and good to see that the Ed White player's getting up underneath his own power, though.
He's limping a little bit, but he might be back. We'll have to wait and see. That's looks like that's Macklin. So we'll be back into play here in a minute. My first radio job after graduating from UCF was in New Mexico. I drove 2,000 miles out, and the Albuquerque Balloon Fiesta is in October. I went to it one time, and that is quite a sight. So if you're heading out to New Mexico anytime soon, get up to Albuquerque and check out that Balloon Fiesta. I'm not quite sure when in October it's going to be, but that is a great event. I missed that. That was in the late 80s when I was out there. A much younger man back then. All right, so the Mustangs, and we're not quite sure if that timeout was charged. So they have either one or two. We'll probably know here in a moment. So second down and call it 5 for the Mustangs from the Ed White 29. Shotgun Verpail. Motion Semper near side. High snap, and Verpail reels it in. He's going to run it, or is he going to throw it? He's going to throw it. Oh, I think it's intercepted.
That isn't.
It's intercepted, and it's number 6, Devontae Mango, with the interception. And it looked like Verpail was going to run, but then he backed it up because he can't cross the line of scrimmage and throw it. And he probably should have run it, but, that's second guessing. So.
I think they're actually discussing this right now. It could be an illegal forward pass.
Oh.
But it's still, they would probably decline the penalty, I think.
Yeah,
that's what this is going to be. So it's an illegal forward pass. That penalty is declined, so the play will stand.
So he crossed the line of scrimmage, and then he tried to get back.
Yeah.
I guess he didn't get back far enough.
Right.
So,
you can cross the line of scrimmage, but if you don't get, if you get back, you can pass it.
He didn't get back far enough.
He didn't get back far enough, and regardless, it was an interception. So now it sets up an opportunity here for Ed White with 1:12 to go to be able to work a 2-minute offense and get some points up on the board and extend their lead. And as a reminder, they do get the ball at the beginning of the second half, so a little bit of a golden opportunity here for Ed White to try to capitalize on that turnover. And Verpail's been making great decisions all night tonight. I mean, that was the first one that probably he would like to have back. And but the big best of, if you want to take any there's any nugget to what happened on that, they're deep in their own territory right now.
So King Boylston, the sophomore quarterback, back in the shotgun. Boy, he got whistles again.
That's going to be a false start again.
Too many false starts. I think both teams have been pretty equally guilty of that. And 5-yard penalties, he'll be 1st and 15 for the Commanders.
Now it's going to be interesting to see what Ed White does with this. Now you're on your own 11-yard line with 1:10 to go. You only got one timeout. What do you decide to do here? Do you try to drive the field and try to get some points up on the board? Or do you go in at half and then be content with a 3-point lead? Probably depends on what happens on this first down here.
All right, back to pass. Boylston, he's looking deep over the middle, and he overshot his receiver.
That was almost intercepted.
Incomplete. It was intended for number 2, and that was Joshua Patterson, who plays mostly defense. And Joshua Patterson is the Iowa State commit, the Cyclones. So he's going to go far away from home to begin his college career. Of course, with that transfer portal, will he end his career there? We don't know. Will he be DJU for Florida State, who played at Clemson and Oregon, right? Yeah. You can jump around if you want. It's free agency.
Clemson, Oregon, Florida State.
Yeah, but we wish him well if he goes to Iowa State. There's a ball caught on the far side up to the 25-yard line. That'll be a gain of about 13, and that'll be shy of the first.
Missed opportunity there for Ed White to get out of bounds. I mean, he would have loved to try to get out of bounds and save some time there, but.
And they got one timeout, I think, right?
Yeah.
Again, we're trying to track the timeouts. And
third down and short here. A good opportunity here for Merritt Island to maybe get off.
So 3rd down and 1. Option play. Boylston up the middle, does a 360 and got the first down. Nice athletic ability there by Boylston. Again, just a sophomore. Did not play in the team last year. Was probably on the freshman team. And nice 3 or 4 yard gain. And he gets up to 30. Clock ticks, 29 seconds to go. Again, they should have one timeout remaining.
Again, if you're Merritt Island, just be wary of a deep throw on the sideline.
So Boylston back to pass. Looks over the far side, and it's incomplete. That was intended for Francis. Very low throw. Francis couldn't get down for it.
Got a flag. It's going to be holding on Ed White, so Merritt Island will definitely accept that.
That's going to make it really tough for Ed White to really get down the field again. Their kicker, Van Thang, has not attempted a field goal all year, so that'd be kind of foreign to him.
The only hope that you have for Ed White is maybe if you can get maybe Merritt Island on a double move on the outside. And, with 17 seconds left, you probably only have enough time for maybe 2 to 3 plays right now. And is that worth that? I mean,
I'd like to see the hook and lateral. I think it was David Woodley to Tony Nathan, 1982 playoffs, Dolphins, Chargers in the Orange Bowl. And that ended the first half. That was the game the Chargers won. That was a tremendous game. The Chargers won in, I think, overtime. All right, option play as we flash back there. 20, 25, 30. Up to the 34-yard line. That'll be a pretty good gain of about 15, and that was Joseph Williams.
Ed White's going to call a timeout here, and this will be probably just one more chance for maybe a deep throw for a Hail Mary or, like you mentioned, your hook and ladder from 1982.
Well, I'll tell you what, the Miami Dolphins have had some historic games in their history. Now, this is long before you were born, but 1971 Kansas City, Gary O'Premian with the game winner against the Chiefs. Ed Podolak, there's a name from the past. What a great running back he was. He had about 250 yards rushing, but the Dolphins won in overtime. And then I just mentioned the Charger game in the Orange Bowl. Dolphins-Chargers 82, eventually won by the Chargers in overtime, but it was the hook and lateral. And I want to say that Dan Marino wasn't there. I think it was David Woodley to Tony Nathan. And Woodley completed the pass, then Nathan was the trailer, and they pitched it to him, and he scored right at the halftime gun. So that is a play in your playbook. You might use it once a year. But if you can pick the right time, that could be a play that the defensive team is not expecting. So I don't know. I'm just guessing here. I mean, if the Commanders have that play in their playbook, especially with 4 seconds to go, let's see what they do here. So they're at the 34. I mean, they have to go about 65 yards to get a touchdown. And they're just going to hand it off. It will not be a pass. It'll be a handoff around the right side, and that'll be the end of the half. And going out of bounds is Landon Francis, and that will bring us to the halftime mark. So the scoring in the second quarter significantly slowed down. We only had the touchdown by Merritt Island to get it close to 20-17, but good ball game so far. Not the best well played with all the penalties, but at halftime it's Ed White 20 and Merritt Island 17.
Oh, good opportunity and a good response there from Merritt Island after being down 14-3. Yeah, you come back and you're only down 3 points at half. Ed White is going to get the ball at the beginning of the second half, but regardless, good job there by the Merritt Island defense here on the last couple of drives, kind of shutting down that Ed White offense. And kind of looked like we were going to have a track meet there at the beginning of the game, but ever since then, Merritt Island's kind of buttoned up a little bit, and good response there from Merritt Island defensively and offensively. And, with the advantage in special teams in the field goal, got to think that Merritt Island has the edge there, a considerable edge. And in a close game like that, you like your position right now where you're at. And then you also had the missed extra point by Ed White as well. So I remember to circle that. Otherwise, this could be a 21-17 game. It'd be, more than a field goal. So
yeah, I thought we were gonna have a WAC or a Mountain West game like 52-40 or something. And we might still have it. We don't know, but
you never know.
Again, the second quarter slowed down, but again, a good game. 20-17 Ed White. So got about 17 minutes on the clock. Are we gonna?
Yeah, this is normally where we'd have a scoreboard update. We'll talk about some of the upcoming games maybe for this week. But since we don't have any games tonight, we really don't have any scores to really show you.
Well, we could preview games, right?
Yeah.
Now, Melbourne is at Bayside. I know one of them off the cuff.
Yeah.
So.
But what we'll do is we'll take a quick little break here. Yeah. And I don't think we have a halftime performance tonight by Merritt Island. So we'll check on that. We'll I don't see the band right now, but I don't see the band on the field either.
Yeah,
so they might be making their way down at the moment.
Okay.
And if we have a halftime performance, we will definitely show that to our audience. So stay tuned to Space Coast Daily. We'll be right back here. And right in about 5 minutes or 10 minutes or so. We'll be back and we'll continue the action as Ed White leads Merritt Island 20-17 here at halftime.
All right, once again, we're at halftime. Closing up halftime shop here. 2017. It's Ed White over Merritt Island. Again, J.C. Meyer-Holtz along with Zach Clark for the play-by-play and color commentary of tonight's game. SpaceCoastDaily.com. Again, a special edition of Monday Night Football over this game being moved from Friday to today, and we're happy to be out here. So, again, a lot of offense in that first quarter as Miller hit a 26-yard field goal to get Merritt Island on the board 3-0. And then a touchdown by Ed White made it 7-3. Then it was 14-3. That was the scoop with a fumble, 46 yards by Patterson. And then Verpale came back, hit Robinson for the first of 2 touchdowns to him. And that's pretty much where we are. Again, halftime, 2017 in favor of Ed White. So as Zach pointed out earlier, Ed White won the toss, elected to defer to the second half. So they will be the recipient of the kickoff here by Merritt Island. I'll tell you, I think it's getting a little cooler, Zach.
I think you're right.
I can feel a little bit more of that breeze right now. That's good.
It's amazing when that sun goes down how much it cools off.
Well, once again, I'm going to give a letter grade to the great food here at halftime at Merritt Island. Nobody does it better than Merritt Island. We've been at least 3 or 4 different places, if not more. They get an A+. Little pizza and salad, and we appreciate it because neither one of us had time to eat dinner tonight. So we squeezed it in the 8 o'clock hour, and here we are back for the second half. So, again, thank you, Merritt Island, for your great hospitality.
First class all the way, and our favorite place to come to here in
and they only have one more road game, so as you mentioned, it's going to be the bulk of the home games in October, so we'd love to come back.
Yeah, they're going to have a series of home games coming up here in the next few weeks, and we are underway here in the second half.
So Miller gets his left leg into it, and this one is going to be, they got to field it. It's a loose football, picked up at the 9, the man goes down. So that was a mistake. Landon Francis, I guess he wasn't quite sure what to do, but you know one thing, this is not a punt, it's a kickoff, and that ball's live, and he tried to pick it up, and a great tackle, shoestring tackle, brought him down right at the spot, which is around the 10-yard line.
Yeah, Ed White takes over inside the 10-yard line now. Great opportunity here for Merritt Island to begin this second half. You got your opponent already in the shadow of their own end zone. This is a prime real estate here for the defense to be able to make a play and really deliver a statement here to begin this second half, down by 3 points.
So I'll give Liam Miller some credit. That was a interesting kickoff, and he put it in a good spot where Francis was kind of hesitant on what to do. All right, so first down, deep in their own territory, handoff up the middle. Maybe they'll gain a yard there, up to about the 10 if that. So that might be a gain of a half a yard, actually. They move the chain stick, and it's going to be second down, and I'll call it second down and 9, gain of 1.
Great job there by number 32 for the Merritt Island Mustangs.
Yeah.
It is.
Herrick, Caden Herrick, their very good linebacker. So second down and 9. Long signal count, 2 receivers out to the left. Boylston has time, going to the far side, actually going over the middle, and it's incomplete. As he threw it over the middle, trying to complete it. Back deep on coverage was Zach Olson, who's getting a little bit more playing time in the last couple of quarters.
Merritt Island a little fortunate there that throw was thrown right into the dirt because Ed White had a guy streaking towards the middle of the field and a couple steps on the defender on the outside edge, but still brings up third down and 9 coming up. Great opportunity here for the Mustangs to get off the field, get a 3 and out to begin the second half.
All right, so third down and 9 from the 10. Boylston, option, keeps it around the right side, and he'll get some yardage. Now, I think he's going to be about a yard shy of the first. He had to get to the 19, and I think he only got to about the 18, or maybe the 17.
Yeah, punting unit's got to be coming out here for Ed White. You do not want to roll the dice inside your own 20-yard line.
Yeah, it'll be 4th and 2. Yeah, you would think they'd be punting here. I don't see any
wow, this is
motion
huge.
for the sideline.
Maybe they're going to try to draw him off sides.
That would be a good point. That would be the thing here, I would think.
No way are you going for it inside your own 20-yard line.
Oh, wow.
Corrected.
Okay, option play. And did he make it? I'm trying to look at the
He's
angle
short.
here. He is short. Wow.
What a gamble.
I don't understand that. I mean, you're up by 3. It's very early in the third quarter. Why do you chance it?
They're going to have a measurement here, but I think he's short.
Well, it's going to be close. I mean, that fourth down yardstick is right next to the other stick. So
he had to get to the 19-yard line. He's barely past the 18. So that's a good yard short.
Well, let's see what we have. This is going to be really close. Oh, you know what? You're right. I'll give you an A+ on that, Zach. About a half a yard short, and this is really a Christmas gift about 2.5 months early for Merritt Island. I mean, why do you do that if you're Ed White? Merritt Island is not led in the game yet. They have a chance here to take the lead with a touchdown.
Very controversial call there, and I'm not sure why you do that inside your own 20-yard line.
I thought they were going to try and draw him offside. That was a good point on your part. That's usually the protocol.
I've never seen anybody in a situation like that go for it. Hey, and now we're in the Erdman Automotive Red Zone for Merritt Island, so
very quickly, yeah.
Good opportunity, great field position once again. It's nice when you take over in your own red zone.
I mean, both teams have jumped offside fair enough, or why don't you try and draw them off? It might have worked, but we'll never know. All right, first down for the 19 for the Mustangs, and the handoff goes to Williams up the middle. Pretty good gain. He'll get over the 15, and then he's driven back. Looks like he was spotted at the 14, so pretty good run there of about 5, and that'll bring up 2nd and 5.
The only thing that maybe you could think of is they did have some pretty high snaps on the first 2 punts that they've had, and maybe that maybe that played a factor.
You know what? That could be, yeah.
But still, I mean,
you got to work on that in practice. The long snapper, I mean,
right.
Got to spend some time, but we'll never know. 2nd down and 5. Handoff goes to Semper. Does a 360 spin around the left side, and he'll gain maybe a couple. Inside the 15, they put it down at the 13. So this will be a big play for the Mustangs, who had to settle for a field goal in their very first drive, where it looked like they were going to drive in for a touchdown. They want to try and get one here, but it's 3rd down and called 4.
Got a bunch of Mustangs here on the bottom side of your screen. 4 Mustangs.
So 3rd and 4 from the 13, and you hate to use timeouts this early, but Tyler Murray is going to call one, and I can agree with that because this could be a significant thing. I mean, a 3-point deficit. You want to take the lead here. You want to call the right play.
That's right. 9:18, still a lot of time here, and we just began the third quarter, and just a very controversial call there by Ed White. Still very puzzled by that, and not quite sure why you go for it on, what was it, 4th and 3?
Yeah, it was 4th and 3. I mean, that doesn't sound like a lot, but when you're deep in your own territory, I don't know why you chance it. Just kick it away. And Van Thang, who was the kicker and the punter, even on the punts, on the high snaps, he was able to reel it in.
Yeah.
You got to look on getting that ball a little lower, but I think you could have gotten a punt away and everything would have been fine. But, Coach Lawrence Johnson might be questioning himself if Merritt Island gets a touchdown here, or maybe even a field goal.
Well, at the very least, if you had a high snap, it would have been a safety. They're only giving up 2 points.
Right.
Instead of putting Merritt Island in field goal territory and on the doorstep of your end zone. But, hey,
so
Ed White's loss is Merritt Island's gain. So Merritt Island looking to capitalize on that.
All right, so it's going to be 3rd and 4 from the 13. Let's see what head coach Tyler Murray used that timeout for, what kind of play to draw up here. 2 receivers out right. Williams in the backfield, side of Verpail. A little bit of motion.
Give this ball to Delvonte Williams.
And give it to, it's a rollout. Verpail being pursued, throws toward the end zone. It's incomplete. Nice defensive play by Ed White. That was Demetria Lamar. That's quite a name, Demetria Lamar. Able to bat that ball away from the intended receiver. And here comes Liam Miller for the attempted field goal. And again, not a bad weapon, because last week against St. Cloud, he hit 4 field goals, the game tire at the end of regulation, and then the game winner in OT. So this is a good safety valve for the Mustangs.
Delvonte Williams is coming to the sideline, waving his hands up in the air like he was open. I mean, that was he had an open lane to the touchdown if Verpail would have handed that ball off. But hindsight's 20/20. Still gets a chance to tie up the game here with Liam's kick.
All right, so this will be almost like an extra point, except it's 10 yards further. Oh, could it be a fake? Oh, what's that? Verpail under center.
Try to draw him off.
Oh, gee, look at that. He's playing with our minds. All right, Verpail is now the holder for Miller. Maybe trying to draw him offside, and the kick is up, and it's no good. Very low kick, and it was blocked.
Wow.
I think it might have been number 2 on the block. That's Joshua Patterson, who I've mentioned a lot tonight. Again, he is committed to Iowa State. So if Iowa State's watching this broadcast, they like that. So
I really like that. And if you're Ed White, you a sigh of relief right there after giving the ball away in your own red zone. You just dodged a huge bullet there, and no points go up on the board there for Merritt. A huge missed opportunity there for the Mustangs.
And I'll tell you what, I am a Jet fan. And Iowa State, if you happen to be watching this broadcast, I love Breece Hall. Because he was Iowa State, wasn't he?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, Breece Hall, who isn't very tall.
No.
Kind of like a Semper type for Merritt Island, but boy, he's just a bowl of dynamite. I mean, so.
And Alan Lazard, he's Iowa State as well.
And that I didn't know. Okay, Alan Lazard. There you go. All right, so missed field goal. Boylston throws it over the middle, up to the 45, the 50, and he will be caught down to the 32-yard line. So that is about a 45-yard 5-yard pass, more or less, give or take 5 yards. Nice catch there by Martin Laguerre, who has 2 receptions on the year. They were both against Inglewood, 2 for 83, and that's another big play for Laguerre, who's first time I've called him tonight.
Yeah. Yeah, just we've seen it a couple times here tonight, and these Ed White receivers, they are getting a step ahead of these Merritt Island defenders.
All right, hand over around the right side to Williams. He'll gain maybe 2. You know, again, how often do you throw about a 45-yard pass to your fullback? Because Laguerre is listed as a fullback, which I know is kind of a dying art in football. I mean, do we have fullbacks in the NFL anymore? I don't think so. We used to.
Ricard the other night, yesterday, he was showing out for the Ravens, but
the Ravens. Okay, all right.
But he had a recovery for a recovery touchdown in the end zone, a fumble recovery. That was the only time I ever seen him score a fullback score in the NFL. But
all right, 2nd and 8, handoff Williams, and really nothing much there. A couple of Mustangs getting in on the tackle.
It is a dying breed, though, as for sure.
Yeah, I really think it is. I mean, we don't talk about fullbacks anymore, and maybe Saquon Barkley is going to keep the idea of running backs in the minds of coaches because, you know, running backs, they aren't spotlighted like they used to be. Anyway, I digress a little bit, and 29-yard line, 3rd down, called 7 for Ed White. We've got 7.5 to go in the 3rd quarter, and no scoring yet in the 3rd. And Ed White with a 3-point lead, 20-17. So big play here for the Merritt Island defense, 3rd and 7. Got motion Williams, direct snap Boylston. Boylston is going to get about a 4-yard gain, and eventually he's going to be taken down. Great effort by the young man. He's only a sophomore, but he's going to be about 4 yards shy. Probably 4 down territory. Again, Van Thang has not attempted a field goal this year. So if you need one, maybe he could do it. This would be, about 42 yards?
Well, if you go for it inside your own 20-yard line, I hope you go for it on your opponent's 25-yard line. If field goal kicking's been an issue, obviously they had a blocked extra point that didn't look too good.
Right.
And probably not going to see too much of the field goal unit.
All right, so 4th and 4. They indeed are going to go for it. Boylston shotgun, 2 receivers out, right and left. And now Williams lines up in the slot on this 4th and 4. Low snap, but Boylston has it, throws it over the middle. Caught, and I think he might have it. It's right at the yardstick.
He's got it.
And he does have it. Had to get to the 22, got right there. They move the sticks. 1st down for Ed White. Now, of course, that makes sense. 4th and 4 deep in Merritt Island's territory, not, 4th and 3 in their own territory and not making it.
Right.
And, fortunately, that did not cost them because Merritt Island had the missed field goal. Right. But you don't want to do that too often, but there was a good call. All right, 1st down from the 20 for Ed White. Pass over the near side. It is caught. That's Landon Francis on the pass reception. Bulati and also Jordan were in on the stop. And let's see, that'll be a pretty good gain of about 7. And that'll bring up 2nd and 3.
I tell you, Ed White has done a really good job on the offensive line front to be able to give protection to their quarterback and giving himself enough time. It has been Merritt Island has been trying to get to the quarterback tonight. It has been kind of rare that they have.
All right, handoff Williams up the middle, going into the rugby pile and up to the 10-yard line. So gain of 3, and he should have the first down, or be very close to it.
I think just inches shy right now.
Wow.
They're going to bring out probably a measurement. Yes.
And I think
water break.
I think a water break as well. So good time for a water break. Ed White can think of their next call without calling an actual timeout. So 5:07 to go in the third quarter. Again, no scoring yet in the third. We only had the one score in the second after the 30-point first quarter combined. So the scoring has slowed down a bit, but Ed White is knocking on the end zone door. And we'll see what happens on what looks like it's going to be a first down.
New set of downs right here. It's going to be very important for Merritt Island to try to at least hold them to a field goal or at least put a stand right here. We've seen them do it before.
Yeah.
And but you do not want to give up a touchdown here, go down 2 possessions. And still a lot of time left. I mean, obviously 5:07 to go here in the third quarter.
I'll tell you, if Van Thang can make extra points, and he was actually 9 for 10 coming in, and I think he's got 1 tonight, I mean, this would be a long extra point if it's a field goal. I mean, it'll be, under 30 yards. He should be able to make that. But, again, I mean, you never unless you're the New York Jets offense and you believe in your field goal offense like they did yesterday, you really want touchdowns, right?
Right.
Somebody should tell that to, what's his name, Saleh, Robert Saleh, the Jets coach. I mean, I don't want to totally blame him, but they got to redo. They got the Vikings next week. That won't be easy. That'll be over in England. Anyway, I digress again. So first down and 10 from the 11. They get a first. They get to the 1. And it's a reverse. Goes to Francis. And Francis will trot into the end zone for a touchdown. That is an 11-yard run on a reverse over to the far side, and really nobody even close to tackling Francis. He had to walk through the park, and the Mustangs every time, or the Commanders. Wow, it's been a long day for me. The Commanders, that Met game took a lot out of me. The Commanders, every time the Mustangs get close, the Commanders pull away for a 2-score lead. So extra point coming up for Thang. So again, Francis showing some good speed and taking it into the end zone. So again, Van Thang on for the extra point. Signals being called. The holder's Lewis Pierce. Snap is down, kick is up, line drive, and it's good. So timeout of the field, 4:41 to go in the third quarter, and again it's a 10-point lead, 27-17. So again, Mustangs not out of the game, but again, every time they get close, Ed White is able to respond.
Yeah.
So the Mustangs will get
they've
the ball
shown
back.
a lot of resiliency here in this game, and despite that controversial decision to go for it and inside your own 20-yard line, to bounce back, to get a defensive stop, and then to drive down the field to get a touchdown. I mean, that's a big moment in this game. That's a 10, 14-point swing right there. So good job there for Ed White, stepping up when they needed to, and they capitalized on the opportunity and took advantage of it, and now extended their lead.
All right, so back deep as usual, Tobias Semper, and I think that's Kevin Verpale, the other one back. It's usually Fielder, but looks like that's Verpale. All right, so kicking over the 40 again is Van Thang, the kicker for the Commanders. Okay, I guess it is Fielder. I thought that was 17, but it's 13. I don't think you want to expose Verpale in a kickoff anyway. All right, there's a roll of a kick taken by one of the up people, the 30, and up to about the 37-yard line. So that'll be a modest 7-yard return, but the Mustangs are going to have pretty good field position taking that kick. Not a name we mentioned a lot, Donovan Long, who is a backup wide receiver. He is a junior.
Well, I tell you, if Merritt Island does not win this game, they are going to be kicking themselves because every possession that they keep getting is always an excellent field position for them. I mean, this has probably been the worst field position that they probably had tonight. Been the 39-yard line. They've usually been getting past the 40-yard line here tonight with regularity. And the fact that you continually take over almost near midfield every time, and you only got 17 points to show for it, 4 minutes to go in the third quarter, that's a huge opportunity missed.
All right, Verpale hands it off. I believe that's Williams, and he'll gain maybe a yard or maybe just back to the line of scrimmage. Good pursuit by the defensive line for Ed White. One of the players getting up slowly, but he gets up. He's a big guy.
Great news for Merritt Island, though, is that, with how quick you were able to strike, you can put points up on the board very quickly with where you are positioned on the field. And if I'm Merritt Island, I may want to take a shot here because there's only one high safety right now, and that could be an opportunity to have some man-on-man coverage on the man versus man on the outside.
All right, 2nd and 1 for the Mustangs from their own 40. Do we have whistles?
Offside.
Oh boy, offsides. And it looked like they lined up offside. They didn't jump, did they?
Yeah, very sloppy setup there when they really were not prepared or ready for it.
It's one thing to jump offsides, but to line up offsides, that is not very smart.
Yeah.
So that'll bring up 2nd and about 4. So the Mustangs have the ball moved up to their own 45. 3 receivers out right, 2 out left. Williams is beside Verpale in the backfield, waiting for the shotgun snap. Here it is. Has time. Looking left. Throws, and it's caught. Nice reception. 46-yard line and down to about the 36-yard line as he advanced it 10 more yards. And that was Dontarius Robinson, who has 2 touchdown receptions tonight, having a big night.
This is a great opportunity here for Merritt Island. They're going to move very quickly, as they should. They got a little bit of they got Ed White a little bit out of position right now, and they're going to.
And they hand off to Williams again.
And that defensive player did not get off the field in time, and it should have been too many men on the field for Ed White. Should have been a 5-yard penalty. The referee didn't throw the flag, but he was a couple steps still on the field.
Do you think Williams is up to 20 carries by now? What do you think?
Absolutely, yeah.
At least 15 or 20, yeah.
Yeah, we
don't have a statistician there, but we're trying to calculate it in our brains.
Yeah, he's well on his way there.
Yeah. Well, again, Saquon Barkley of the Eagles probably gets at least 20 times a game, doesn't he?
Yeah. I tell you, that Devontae Williams, man, he is built like a very nice running back that can take a lot of carries. He is.
All right, back to pass for Pale. Here comes the rush, and the ball caught, and trying to make something out of nothing. And look at him go down the sideline. Dontarius Robinson. He should have been stopped for no gain, but he gained, I think, about 25. Tiptoeing through the tulips down the sideline.
Showcasing his great speed there, and here he comes to the sideline right now. But, man, what a play there.
Well, great speed by him, but, Ed White should have had him, don't you think? Weren't there a couple of guys in the area that just they couldn't do anything?
Ed White's racing around right now. If you're Merritt Island, take advantage of this opportunity right now. They look all out of sorts right now.
All right, 1st down from the 18, and hand off to Williams again. If it works, keep giving the big guy the ball, and he'll gain about 3 up to the 15. Again, if they line up quickly enough and they snap it, that is the Chip Kelly failed offense from the Eagles from about, 10 years ago or 15 years ago?
Yep.
Yeah, but if it works, it works. It just didn't work in the NFL. You can have the no huddle, but then you look at the sideline for the play. If you rush it too much, I don't know. I just don't think it works. But anyway, back to play here. 2nd and call it about 6. Hand off Williams again. Boy, he's going to be a tired young man at the end of the evening. He'll gain maybe 1. And he doesn't play both ways. Thank goodness. He'd be just one tired guy. So he gains about a yard, and that'll bring up 3rd down at about 5 from the 14.
It's interesting because last year Devontae Williams he beat Merritt Island right here on this turf with only seconds to go in the game.
I think I was at that game.
Over a 50-yard run.
Yeah, I think
He is playing for Merritt Island now.
That, yeah.
And
all right, Verpale pass slant pattern. And does he get in the end zone? Yes, he does. Touchdown. And Dontarius Robinson is having himself a game. That is the third touchdown pass from Verpail to Robinson. So touchdown for the Mustangs. They're right back in it. You know, he only had one touchdown reception, according to what the stats read, coming into the game, but he has 3 tonight.
Amazing.
So
he's if Merritt Island's able to pull this off tonight, it was obviously going to be a great contender for player of the game, I would think. Wouldn't you think, JC, with 3 touchdowns tonight?
Yeah, definitely. All right, signals being called. Miller extra point. Well, that one he hit high in the air, and it splits the uprights. So 27-24. That might be the third time in the game that the Mustangs keep cutting it to 3 points. Now they just have to try and stop Ed White. They have not had the lead yet tonight. So they got to stop Ed White and then try and eventually take the lead. So who knows how this one's going to end up. 1:04 to go in the third quarter. So yeah, Verpail, 3 touchdown passes, all 3 to Robinson. So those two have had very big ball games. Again, you got to always credit the offensive line for doing their share. And who's the guy's name? Buddy Beal?
Buster Beal.
Well, I was close.
Yep.
I don't want to say Buster Brown, but Buster Beal getting a workout with the flag. And he takes a well-deserved break as he ran up and down the track. Merritt Island cheerleaders very happy. So, kickoff here for Miller. Back deep. Looks like it's Powell, number 3, and Francis, number 5. We'll double check that. Yeah, Francis on the far side. And actually, I think looks like that's Joseph Williams on the near side standing inside the 10. Now, Miller has at least 1 touchback tonight, but he's also hit some into play, so let's see what he does here. Again, he's a left-footed kicker. He kicks this one, and this one will go into the end zone. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, it's picked up at the 1. It did not make it to the end zone. And the man goes, we got multiple flags down. It's flag night here. It's going to be September 30th.
Illegal block in the back on Ed White. So this ball is going to be almost probably inside the 5-yard line with where that block took place. And, man, I got to tell you, Liam is doing a great job on the kickoffs, creating havoc for this kickoff return unit for Ed White. That's the second one that he has done in this quarter. It's kind of pinned them deep, and they have to pick it up.
But I'll tell you, is Miller saying to himself, you know what, I'm going to get that near the end zone, and then all of a sudden there's going to be backspin on that football.
It's just
that was beautiful, but, I mean, can you plan that? I know golfers can hit a shot.
It's like your 9-iron.
What was that golf highlight I was watching where a guy hit a shot onto the green and then it backspins right into the hole?
Yep.
I mean,
these kickers nowadays are amazing.
I don't know how golfers do it. I don't know how kickers do it. So
it's amazing what these kickers can do now with all the analytics and the technology and the way that they kick the ball, the different ways that they can kick it to get the backspin that they want. And you can definitely see Liam's got some tricks up his sleeve with how he can get some English on the ball. And now, excellent opportunity once again with Ed White taking over inside their 5-yard line, the 3-yard line right
I want
now.
to say this is the second time they've had really miserable field position, like inside the 5 at least twice. So they have to be careful here. Can't get a holding in the end zone, that's for sure. Option, Boylston pitches it up to the 5-yard line, maybe the 6, and then he's pushed back. I think that was Williams. So it is Williams on the pitch play and the option. And let's see, they're going to give him 3. Dominic Smith got in on the tackle.
And it's such an underutilized thing in football is having a great kicker and somebody who knows how to manipulate the ball to take different spins and different English on it. And look how it can just change field position in just an instant on a kickoff. It's amazing.
All right, handoff Williams up the middle. And he'll gain about 4. It's going to be shy of the first down, and that's going to be the final play of the third quarter. So at the end of 3, we got a good one.
We do.
It is Ed White 27 and Merritt Island 24. The two teams will switch sides of the field. So we'll keep it out here and pick up the fourth quarter, which it should be an exciting one. Good ball. We picked a good ball game tonight, but it was the only game for high school football.
That's right.
We didn't have any choice, but we thought this would be a good matchup, and it is.
Monday Night Football on Space Coast Daily TV. Yeah. So
now, how are our ratings doing? We got 2 Monday night NFL games. Are our ratings doing better? What do we got? Seahawks, Lions, and Dolphins, Titans. But those are probably getting a little better ratings. But we're competing against them.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
So Joe Buck's doing one of those games. I wonder who's doing the other one. But anyway,
I think it's Brad Nessler.
Oh, he's pretty good. I like Brad. Well, he did the SEC for many years. Now I guess he's doing the Big Ten on CBS. So. Yeah, so if you're still up and it's only 20-9, you got 2 NFL games you can watch. But please keep it here for this game, Merritt Island and Ed White. Again, J.C. Meyerholtz and Zach Clark to bring you all the action. Of course, we'll have some more games on Friday night. I know that Norland and Cocoa will be one of the games we'll be doing.
Yep.
Cocoa is proving they're human, but, I mean, they are playing a tough schedule, and they've lost a couple of tough games. Who was it? The team over in Bradenton, IMG. And then they lost to Venice. 2 very good clubs.
Yeah.
So we'll Cocoa and Norland. Norland out of the Miami area. So that'll be a good test. Cocoa they don't shy away from anybody. Coach Schneider there.
They do not. They've had a gauntlet of a schedule.
Gauntlet, yeah.
It has been quite the challenge. They definitely made a point of emphasis that they were going to play anybody anywhere.
Yeah.
And to their credit, they have done an excellent job at scheduling, and they've had some very competitive games this year. And they've been, with the exception of IMG, every game's been very close.
Oh yeah, I know.
For them. So a huge credit to Cocoa and not taking the easy way out and playing, the.
All right, 3rd down and 4. I believe that was Williams in the carry. He's got more than enough for the first down. He needed 4, and it looked like he got 7. So a little bit of breathing room here for Ed White as they were inside the 10, and now they bring it out to, the 16. Mm-hmm. So first down.
If you're Merritt Island, you just need a stop somewhere or at least hold them to a field goal of some kind. But you feel like this game, if Ed White has their way, they would love nothing more than to take off a lot of time here on this possession, get some first downs, and maybe play a little bit time possession type football.
So first down for the Commanders from their own 16. Got motion by Williams, and Williams will get it around the left side, and he's kind of dragged down.
Great tackle.
Looked like he did a 360 spin, but an excellent tackle. I think that was Dominic Smith. He's a good one. Defensive end, linebacker position. Second on the team in tackles coming in to the game, 33. So 1 yard gain, 2nd and 9 for the Commanders. Again, early 4th quarter. We're a little bit more than a minute in, and 27-24 Ed White. Again, Ed White at 3-1, Merritt Island 4-1. So one of these two teams is hoping to keep that 1 in the loss column and not go to 2. Rolling out, Boylston being pursued. Little screen pass caught, Legary. And Legary, the big fullback, gets it up to the 30-yard line. He's going to gain about 11.
He's down.
He's going to get the first down. And, he's down, yeah.
Yeah, that was a very, very awkward tackle right there. And he is still down. And that didn't look good from up here.
Oh, gee.
And members of the coaching staff are coming down now to check on him.
I'll tell you, the Merritt Island trainer, good job by that person to get out there and try and help out. Here comes somebody else to assess things. So I'll tell you, high school trainers, are they appreciated? I think they should be. If they're not, they should be. They're not going to make a lot of money doing high school training, but it's so important.
Yeah.
I mean, and Legary, he's sitting up on his derriere. And he's just slow in getting up. They want to be careful, figure out what's wrong with him.
Yeah, that's I hate to see that. It's
yeah. Well, he's up. Let's see how he walks off the field. A little bit of a limp. Doesn't look like it's bad shape, but he's going to have to come out for one play at least. So he might come back. He's not looking too bad. Legal shift. Meanwhile, I didn't know there was a flag. So
wow,
5 yard penalty.
That's huge.
Merritt Island last week against St. Cloud had 16 penalties.
Jeez.
That is way too much. I think for almost 100 yards. I think it was just under 100. So double digits in number of penalties, almost triple yardage. So got to clean that up. And Ed White's had their share tonight as well.
I was watching the Nebraska-Purdue game earlier on Saturday, and Purdue had 165 yards in penalty yards. They had more penalty yards than they had total yards at one point in the third
Willie
quarter.
Tillman, the head coach of MCC, would not like that. He is a Purdue graduate. I think he played back near the Drew Brees era way back when, but they're not as good right now.
I know. Yeah, rough times.
Yeah, shotgun Boylston. He's looking deep down the middle. Oh, it's incomplete. He shortchanged his receiver, Francis. I mean, still a really good throw. I mean, that's about a 45, 50-yard throw, but didn't quite have enough mustard on it. And Jace Jordan back with very good coverage for the Mustangs.
Big play there. Now it sets up third down and about 14, would you say? 15?
Yeah.
Third and 15 now.
And I'll tell you, it looks like Landon Francis is kind of hobbling a little bit. He kind of stutter steps back to the huddle. Yeah.
And, I mean, the question's got to be asked. I mean, is this still 4-down territory here for the
I would
for
think
the Commanders?
not.
But
Jeez.
they did it earlier.
They should have learned their lesson going, 4th and 3 from like inside their 20. That was ridiculous. Shotgun Boylston, third down and long, and he gets away somehow. And he's taken down the 21-yard line. He should have been like almost sacked, but he got like 7 or 8 yards out of it.
Oh, and we got another.
Wow, another down player. Jeez.
I can't tell if that's an injured Ed White player, I believe. I think that's an offensive lineman.
I see some green. Yeah, I think it is. So once again, the coaching staff goes out there and the trainer comes out. So
well, great job.
Getting physical out there.
Great job there by that Merritt Island defense, standing strong right now, and now it makes Ed White's decision probably a little bit harder. 4th and 6 about.
Yeah, 4th and 5. 4th and 6. Yeah.
So 4th and 6 from your own 20. You've already gone from it your own 20 before in this game before. I mean,
you got it. You got to punt, and the long snapper has to bring the ball down a little bit when he snaps it.
Yeah.
Because he's been snapping it seems like too high, and Thang is not very tall. So.
Well, and I got to say, with what we've seen from the snaps in their punting unit that they've done tonight, I'm Merritt Island. I'm going to try to go for this punt and try to block this because they've had some problems with the snap. And there's been a couple times where Merritt Island's been able to have a chance to maybe block it.
Yeah.
And if you're Merritt Island, that would be a golden opportunity if they decide to punt it. You're going to get great field position regardless. Based upon this field position, they're going to be punting into the wind. So, there's a little bit of a wind.
Old Glory's looking a little groggy, but there's a little bit of wind.
Yeah, but the yellow flags.
What about those flags?
Yeah.
I'm looking at Old Glory. Old Glory's groggy, and the other ones are flapping away.
Yeah, it's kind of a swirling wind out there.
By the way, a sad note, and boy, there's so many people passing away. I mean, I'm 63, getting older. I really feel it, but 2 really great sports athletes from the last, 50, 60 years. Pete Rose has passed away, and Dikembe Mutombo.
Wow.
Boy, that's hard. That's hard. Mutombo, evidently brain cancer. That's horrible. So rest in peace, those two athletes. Pete Rose, one of the greatest players of all time. Certainly controversy followed him throughout his career, and he really should go in the Hall of Fame. I don't want to get into a big, diatribe about that, but I think he's paid his penance, and now unfortunately he won't live to see it if he gets in. As the Ed White players getting assisted off.
I think if you're Merritt Island here, with the injured Ed White player, I think that's the left tackle, the starting left tackle for Ed White. And if you're Merritt Island, bring the house on that side and make the backup, whoever the backup left tackle is.
Yeah, that's
for
a
Ed
good
White.
point. If you're the Merritt Island coach, say, they're bringing in the backup, and that's the left guard, is it? Okay.
Left
Maybe
tackle.
we need to do something in that direction. Well,
Now, the punting unit's coming out now, so this is a good Let's see what Merritt Island decides to do here, if they try to go for this, or they could probably play for the return.
So, again, Thang is not very tall. Let's see if he can get a punt off here, standing on his own 5.
Very.
And that snap is pretty good, and Thang gets it off, and not a bad kick. Let's see, it's going to land at the 45, take about a 5-yard roll. It's going to be downed by Laguerre. near midfield. So that was about a 35-yard punt, give or take a few yards. So nice job by Thang. That's the good news. The bad news is Merritt Island's going to have still pretty good field position, but considering where Ed White was, it wasn't really a bad punt.
Pretty good punt, but still great field position once again for the Merritt Island Mustangs. It's just been the story tonight.
How many times have they started on the correct side of the 50?
It's
a few times.
Yeah.
So. Yeah.
But a huge opportunity here for Merritt Island here with 9:19 to go here in the fourth quarter. Still a lot of time in this game, but still, we're getting pretty close to crunch time where, your defense just made an excellent stop right there. Got to capitalize on opportunities like this.
So you got Hartman and Semper far out to the right side. Shotgun Verpail, first down from the 49 of Ed White. Verpail, quick slant pattern. It's incomplete. Nice hit there as it was attempted. The attempter was Robinson, and right there was number 2, Joshua Patterson. So again, if Iowa State is watching, they love what Patterson is doing tonight. That was a perfectly timed hit because I think Semper was going to catch it.
Yeah.
And that jolt, it brought the ball loose. So
I think if you're Merritt Island right here, you got to take a shot maybe deep down the field. You've had some success here with it tonight, and you only
especially
have
with Robinson,
only one high safety right now for Ed White. They're challenging you to maybe.
All right, second and 10 for the 49, and handoff Williams around the left side. Pretty good gain here up to the 45, and driven out of bounds at about the 40-yard line. Looks like he's going to be shy by about a yard for the first down, so gain of about 9. And the Mustangs on the move here. After getting the punt at midfield, they advance it 10 yards to the 40. And it's going to be third down and probably a little less than a yard.
Yeah, you got 2 downs to get a half a yard.
Motion far side Semper. And now Verpail might be calling it audible when he comes up to the center and says, hey, I'm calling this play.
Yeah.
Got to communicate, so good job by Verpail. Been a history of Verpails here at Merritt Island. This is just another one. All right, quick pass out to the left side, incomplete. A little bit of Butterfingers on that.
Got to catch that.
Yeah.
That's huge.
The Butterfinger, the candy's so good, you got to earn it. I think that was a 1970s ad, if I remember right. So, should have been caught. That was Femi Howard, number 18. So not a guy that plays a lot, but yeah, you got to try and reel that in. So fourth down and 1, they're going for it.
If I'm Merritt Island here, maybe on a Tobias Semper jet sweep, get him on the outside edge.
This will be a critical play, 4th and 1, and
wow.
Did they draw him off sides?
Wow.
And I'll tell you,
offsides.
Number 22, Josiah Smith, is livid. I don't know if he's livid with the official or his teammates. I think it might be his teammates. He can't do that to an official and get away with it.
No.
So I think he was yelling at one of his teammates, like, what are you doing? So Verpail was able to, I guess, draw him offside, or maybe Ed White kind of created that on their own. But it's an easy first down for the Mustangs from the Ed White 35. Again, it's 27-24 Ed White. Still plenty of time, 8:56 to go in the game. Handoff Williams trying to get to the right side. And he'll gain about 4 or 5. He's still on his feet. Kind of looks like a rugby pile there. And Williams, again, very strong young man. I mean, not very tall or anything, but he got about 5. Probably should have gotten only about 2 or 3. So that'll bring up second down and 5.
Devontae Williams is going to get a breather here. His helmet came off, but, man, he has been a workhorse here tonight for the Mustangs.
All right, Alex Hernandez is checked in for him. He's beside Verpail, 2nd and 5 from the 30, and Hernandez gets the ball immediately right off the bench and right into the scrum in the middle of the field. He'll gain 1, and that'll bring up a third down and 4. So third and 4, yeah.
You are in field goal range right now, so you would like to get a little bit more yardage if you wanted to try to tie this game at this point. Obviously, you want to get the first down.
Yeah, Miller's definitely got the legs, so what would that be, about a 46-yard attempt if it stays where it is? So that is an option. That would tie the game. Verpail pass is complete and goes to number 4. That is Dontarius Robinson, who again has 3 touchdown receptions tonight.
Decision time here for Coach Murray. What do you decide to do here? You're about 3 yards short for a first down. Probably could kick a field goal, it'd be really long, but
yeah, again, Miller's got a great leg. 28-yard line, so probably about a 45-yard attempt.
I think
might be a good time for a timeout. Let's see.
Yeah, might try to draw him offsides here again. I think.
Well, they were successful just a moment ago. Yeah, that's a good option. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's probably what they're going to try to do here. Get a hard count going.
Okay.
And try to get a first cheap 5 right now.
So again, 4th down at about 4. 3 receivers out to the right very quickly, and they're still moving. Now they got to be set. Verpail shotgun. He's looking at the sideline. I think that's what they're trying to do.
Yeah,
good job there. Yeah.
I mean, when you have an opportunity to try to tie this game here with 6:53 to go, even if you don't make it, you're still not out of it. I mean, your defense has been playing pretty well here in the second half, so you feel pretty confident.
Well, I think Miller's got the leg. Thang maybe doesn't have the leg on the other side, but we've seen Miller in the kickoffs. As long as the snap is good and you have the usual stuff that goes well, he could probably hit it, and there's really not a lot of wind to battle, so that might be an option. We'll see.
We were talking to some of the Merritt Island people here beforehand, and they were talking about what his range is, and he can boot 60-yarders. They've seen it happen, but it's a different dynamic when you have linemen and you're trying to get it over people who are trying to block your kick. It's much different when you're kicking by yourself.
I still think about Dennerberg. I remember watching him play a couple of years, and again, we've been touting him a little bit. He's at Syracuse and doing very well, evidently, and we're glad for that with the orange. Now he gets a kick in the dome. That's probably a good advantage, at least the home games. So
if I'm Verpail, I may even try to go up there and try to draw him off sides again. Do that little come up to the line real quick, see if he can get a cheap 5, and then go back and try to, because he is the holder.
He did do that one time, trying to do that.
And that's brilliant, actually. I really like that.
Otherwise, this looks like it's going to be a 45-yard attempt. Verpail the holder for Miller. Here comes the snap. It's down. Kick is up. It's looking pretty good.
Got it.
And it's very good. It is good. Yes, sirree. 27-27. So Miller, what a 2 weeks he has had. 4 field goals last week against St. Cloud. They were all important because they only won by 3. But more importantly than that, game-tying field goal, regulation, 30 seconds to go. And then the overtime winner with Cortland Campbell actually ending the game with an interception, but the winning points were by Miller. So he was really on a roll, and really not much doubt about that. That was a good long line drive, and it easily went through the uprights. So
great protection.
We were tied at 27.
Great protection by his offensive line as well. That was very important, and that was, that definitely goes unsung. But great job there by his linemen to give him enough protection to be able to kick that ball like he did. So 27-27 right now, and we got ourselves a game, JC. This is going to be very exciting coming down the stretch.
And again, I thought a while back in high school football with overtime you start at the 10, but I guess it's down to 25 like it is in college.
Yeah.
And I kind of like that overtime rule in college. I think that's pretty fair because both teams get tries with the ball, unlike the NFL where you kick a field goal, the other team gets a chance. But I kind of like that 25-yard rule, so we'll see if that happens. It's a possibility.
Well, this has been another weapon for Merritt Island here tonight on kickoffs, and pinning Ed White deep on kickoff. So let's see if he can do it again.
Miller gets another deep one, and it goes in the end zone as number 4 for the Commanders, Joseph Williams, just let it go by him. So it'll be first down for the 20 for Ed White, 6:43 to go. Let's see, did Ed White use a timeout earlier? I don't think they did. Merritt Island used one.
Yeah.
So good reason to save your timeouts. You got 3 of them with 6:43 to go, and who knows? I mean, if Ed White can get a good drive here going, they could run out the clock with 2 or 3 first downs. Merritt Island, on the other hand, I mean, their defense has had some good spots tonight. They're going to try and stop them. So here come the Commanders. Again, King Boylston at quarterback. Want to mention their offensive line real quick. Rankin at center, Hayes and Beals at the guards, Bethea, Williams at the tackles. All right, handoff up the middle. And I believe that's Williams. Again, he has been the workhorse back. Both Williams have gotten a lot of carries tonight, and that is the Ed White version, Joseph Williams.
Good gain there by Ed White, getting 5 yards on that carry, getting up to the 25-yard line. And, for Merritt Island, they got 2 timeouts right now. We're going to have our next whistle will be a water break, an official's timeout.
All right, 2nd and 5. Williams with the carry again. Out to the left side, big play, first down.
Wow.
He'll gain about 9. He only needed about 5. And he gets to the 34-yard line. So first down for Ed White as clock stopped momentarily to move to 6. 6:06 to go. And you are correct, a water break right at the midway point of this fourth quarter. Well, it also gives us a little bit of a break. We're really sweating in here, aren't we? It is a hot evening. I mean, we don't blame Merritt Island for that. We definitely credit them for the food, though. I'll tell you, good shot, good try.
That's right.
Or good deal. So 6:06 to go. So we'll keep it out here. So again, Friday night we got Northern at Cocoa, we got Melbourne at Bayside, and we got a few other games. Those are 2 off the cuff that I do remember. You know, there are a bunch of teams this week that have buys. I think like 3 or 4 teams have buys, so the selection this week isn't as good as it usually is. But next week, Merritt Island at O'Galley. Yep. And again, O'Galley beat Merritt Island in the first round of the playoffs 62-22. So that's a painful taste in the mouth for Merritt Island. They would love to go over there and give them a real competitive game. And O'Galley escaping 7-3 over Titusville this past Friday. So we'll see what happens there.
Well, Merritt Island's defense needs a stop.
So first down from the 34, handoff Williams again around the left side, and big hole, and he'll be very close to the first down. Let's see with a spot. You know what? I think he's going to be a little short, maybe less than a yard. So that was about a 9.5-yard gain, or they're moving the chain sticks. I guess it's the first down. I thought maybe it was about a half-yard short, but first down. Okay, I misspoke there. So first down from the 44. So if your name is Williams, you're very busy tonight. One Williams on each side of the team, both running backs.
There you go.
I mean, I'd be curious who has more yardage. They're probably fairly close. Also, number of carries. There goes Joseph Williams again up the middle. And he'll gain about 4. Just shy of Merritt Island territory. They're going to call it the 49. So call that gain. Called about 5, 2nd and 5.
You're going to see Ed White just kind of take their time right now. They're probably going to they're going to keep an eye on that the field judge who has the clock. So they're going to want to take this play clock down each time.
And they have 2 timeouts remaining, right? Because they just used one.
Yes.
Yeah.
So each team has 2 timeouts right now, and for Merritt Island, it's going to be kind of important that you get a stop here in the next couple of.
All right, handoff to Williams up the middle. He is still on his feet. We've had a lot of rugby-type plays. And, boy, what effort by Williams. And he got another first down. So back-to-back first downs by Joseph Williams, who's having an equal type of light with Delvonte Williams of Merritt Island.
More importantly, it gives them a new set of downs and an opportunity to bleed more clock here. They want to make sure that this is the last possession of the game. They'd love nothing more to go down and just try to give Merritt Island hardly any time to play with.
And I would say if it gets under 2 minutes and it looks like Ed White might score, then you're Merritt Island. You might have to use your timeouts to conserve time.
Yeah.
All right, handoff, Williams again. Man, both Williamses are going to be awfully tired tonight, and they got to go to school tomorrow. That'll be a handoff for about 4 yards.
Good stop there by the Merritt Island defense. Only got about 3 yards there. Still 3 yards, but second down and 7. You really don't feel like Ed White is in the position to really kick a very long field goal here today. Probably their field goal range, probably where they would attempt it, maybe around the 15 or 20-yard line would be about a 37-yard. I really don't think they're going to try any field goals over 40 yards, but
I don't
maybe
know
with no time left.
I don't know if Thang has the leg.
Yeah, I don't think so.
No disrespect to the young man. All right, second and about 7 from the 37. Handoff up the middle, and nothing gained there. Good defensive line play by the Mustangs, not allowing anything. I'll tell you, this guy's had a pretty good night defensively. Dominic Smith, he's been in on a good handful of tackles.
I got to say, this Merritt Island crowd's been very quiet for how big this possession is, and here they are. Now they're going to start getting a little bit louder right now.
Look at the players. They're trying to get them jazzed up.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's like
get up there. Come on.
It's like church service right now. It's really quiet right now.
Monday night church service. Well, it's not that. It's Monday Night Football. We're glad to be here. This is a classic. 3rd and 8, 27 all, 2:45 to go. Boylston option, pitches at Williams. Williams up to the 40, goes out of bounds. I mean, he's going to be shy of the first down by about 5 yards, but a gain of maybe 3 or 4, depending on where they spot it. They have to get to the 35.
There
what
is going to be. a penalty on Merritt Island.
Oh, what is it?
It's targeting on Merritt Island, and this is going to be.
I don't like that new targeting rule.
That is a really tough break there for Merritt Island.
You know, if you're an official, how do you judge that in an instant, whether it's instant targeting? I mean, maybe it's just old-fashioned football. I don't know.
It's two players trying to reach for a first down, and one player is extending for it, and another player is trying to stop him. I mean, in a bang-bang play like that, I hate to see that.
I mean, unless you're aiming for the head, I could understand. But if it's any other part of the body, that's football. I mean,
and there's no intent there to try to commit targeting. He was just trying to stop him.
That's a tough call because that gives the Commanders an automatic first.
Jeez.
So first down from the 24, 2:38 to go. Again, we're tied at 27, and Ed White not only wants to get probably a touchdown here, but whittle down that clock. Boylston shotgun, hands it off. And it goes to Lloyd, who hasn't had too many carries tonight. That is Rontrez Lloyd, who's only a freshman.
You know, I hate to say this, but you know what? You're getting to be Merritt Island right now where you may want to let them just score at this point, because at this point with 2 timeouts left,
only
they're inside the 20-yard line. You got 2 minutes and 15 seconds left in this game. May want to just let them score and take your chances.
I think depending on what happens in this play, you might be right. They might have to start using their timeouts, as we have exactly 2 minutes to go. And Boylston, the quarterback, and Ed White not in any hurry. You know, again, you have 25 seconds to snap the ball. I would think that shot clock's getting down. All right, handoff at the middle.
There you go.
It's Lloyd again, and he's going to be stopped. And let's see if Merritt Island uses a timeout here.
Yeah. And what you're going to see probably here on this next possession here is Merritt Island's going to sell out on this. And if they score, they score. But it really is in a position where, you hate to have a touchdown given, but you want the time. More importantly is the time. Of course, if you're Ed White, what you would love is just to get a first down and not score and then bleed the clock out and try to kick the walk-off field goal.
I'll tell you, for Ed White, I mean, you got to get about 4 yards here. I'd probably just give it to Williams. He seems to get those big chunk of yards.
Yeah.
I mean, the offensive line for Ed White has really opened up some nice holes for him. So we'll see what the call is here.
You would love to have Merritt Island use their final timeout too, even if you don't get it, because if you throw an incomplete pass, and Merritt Island still has their timeout in 1:45, which is forever for Merritt Island.
And if Ed White doesn't get the first down, I mean, this probably is going to be 4-down territory. I don't know if Thangs could be able to kick it that far. Let's see.
And also, I mean, it's got to be pointed out as well, the field position today for Merritt Island. I mean, Ed White's kickoff unit has shown that they have not shown any ability to be able to send it deep to try to get a touchback tonight.
I mean, now this would be about a 35-yard attempt if you try the field goal. But again, this is only 3rd down and about 5. Handoff Williams up the middle, and he is stuffed.
There we go.
The Mustangs saying no sirree. Number 9. Laquarius Hasty. You got to love that name, Laquarius.
Why isn't Merritt Island calling a timeout right now?
I don't know. It's under 90 seconds to go. You know, maybe Ed White will use a timeout to try and think about what they want to do. Maybe that's what Merritt Island's thinking about. 4th and 5. Clock continues to run. Maybe they'll let the clock down, or maybe it'll be Ed White, though, that'll call a timeout. I don't think they're going to get this play off. And, timeout Ed White, it should be. Let's double check, though. I never assume anymore. Timeout Ed White. And they have 1 remaining, or are they out? Did they use 1 earlier? I'm trying to remember. So, 1:04 to go. So, we got possible dramatic finish here. You know, again, that Georgia-Alabama game, you talk about college football games against 2 of the best programs in the country. But that literally did go down to practically the last play, and I could even top that one. How about Va Tech and Miami? What about that play at the end? That was really something. Do you have some inside information? Zach Clark is going to check on, I think, timeouts. Zach, do you have some inside info?
No, I'm trying. I was trying to ask people here in the press box. I thought Merritt Island still had a timeout, but apparently a little confusion. I really don't. Nobody really knows up here right now.
Oh no. Okay. In Mystery Theater.
So it's the referees on the field that know if they have a timeout or not.
We try and keep it by memory, but sometimes we're not sure. All All right, 4th down and 4.
Wow, this is huge.
So the Merritt Island crowd is getting fired up. 4th and 4, tied at 27, 104 to go. Ed White trying to keep this drive alive. Boylston looking toward the end zone. That's incomplete. It was overthrown for Francis. Good coverage by Jordan, who's had a very good game in the secondary tonight for Merritt Island. And now the Mustangs, I think they might have one timeout remaining. They will take over. And again, keep in mind they have Liam Miller, who I think they would be very comfortable in using if they get to the 25 or 30-yard line and maybe a 45-yard attempt. I mean, he's got the legs. So, yeah. I mean, you want to get a touchdown, but 58 seconds to go, you got to drive it down the field and try and score. So the Mustangs will take over. Good defensive stop against this Ed White team that, again, has scored 27 points. All right, so for the Mustangs, 1st down from their own 19, 2 receivers right, 2 receivers left. And again, Verpale has been into quarterback the whole time. Hartman's just been a wide receiver tonight. No quarterback play by him. Verpale looking left, ball thrown, caught by Williams. Up to the 29-yard line, and that should be enough for a Mustang 1st down. In fact, I think he got exactly 10.
Clock will stop after the 1st down once the ball is ready, and the referee blows the whistle for the ready to play. So,
all right, 2nd and 10. Quick pass again. Pretty identical play to the last one, out of bounds. And that'll be a short gain, maybe 5. They don't have to use a timeout. They got out of bounds.
That's a really good play, but Ed White is cheating up right now, and that was almost picked there by Ed White. So Merritt Island needs to be a little bit more careful on throws like that because Ed White is cheating up right in that slot position from the defensive side, and they've got themselves a timeout by Ed White.
All right, so Ed White will utilize the timeout here with 42 seconds to go. So unless Merritt Island come up with a dramatic play, we could be in the OT. So we'll see what happens.
I think if you're Merritt Island, you may want to take a shot here with.
Oh, sure,
Robinson has 3 touchdowns on the night.
Yeah, Robinson.
And he has shown that he has given Ed White problems all night tonight.
Yeah.
So let's see what happens here if what head coach Murray decides to do with 42 seconds left. Like I mentioned, the clock does stop after every 1st down. It's not like the pros where the times continuously run.
That's right, yeah.
You have the opportunity where if you get a 1st down beyond the sticks, the clock will stop until they're ready to play.
Hey, was it this year that they brought in the 2-minute warning to the college game? That never existed, did it?
It never existed before. That's a new thing that they brought in.
That's a new thing this year, right?
Yeah.
I was surprised. I was watching a game and the 2-minute warning. I didn't know they had that in college. Yeah. I guess they adopted that, so that's a good thing. So I'll tell you, football's an evolving game.
It is.
The new kickoff rule in the NFL, I'm trying to get used to that. That is really bizarre looking. Anyway.
2 high safeties right now for Ed White, so that's going to be very challenging to try to go over the top right now. But
all right. So Verpale with a 2nd and 3, back to pass. He'll roll out to the right. He is looking. He is still looking.
Throw it away.
He will throw it away. Very good prediction there.
That's the smartest decision you can make right there.
Yeah.
Do not want to run for it and milk more clock, and because you weren't going to get a 1st down anyways.
Yeah, unless you're going to run out of bounds, but then it'd be 4th down. So
right. So 31 seconds left. You got to get a 1st down. Good thing is it's 3rd down and
3rd down, yeah.
3rd down and 3. So you get a 1st down, clock will stop. You can clock it if you want after that, but still a lot of time left. And but got to get a 1st down here. Otherwise, you don't know if you're going to go for it on 4th down inside your own.
Well, I'll tell you, this game is about 2 hours and 45 minutes old. It's been a long one. Again, we started at 6:30, and we're approaching 9:15 on a Monday night in Brevard County. All right, handoff. Williams up the middle, 1st down.
Clock will stop.
So clock stop, move to chain 6, reset.
Just clock it.
And let's see.
They're going to try to run a play here, but this is going to take a little time.
Yeah. Okay, they start the clock. We're down to 22 seconds to go.
Got to go.
Verpale looking toward the bench. He has it. He's throwing, and what do we have?
False start.
Oh, boy. Well, you were right. They should have clocked it and reorganized.
Yep.
You don't want to get a false start, so, well, that's what it is.
Well, if you want to get into Liam's range, field goal range, you'd have to get it to about, if you wanted to attempt a really long field goal.
I'd say like
the game on the line. Maybe
I'd say like 45 yards.
Yeah.
Get it inside the 30. and then you got to add the 10 yards for the goalposts.
Well,
all right, back to passes for Pale. Rolling out right. He's looking.
throw it away.
He's going to throw it away. So, out of bounds, incomplete. 1 second to go. Wow.
They need to reset the clock on that because that's
should there
not
be
right.
more time?
There should be way more time than that.
Way more time. Okay. Well, you got to wait for the whistle on the field, right? And then you stop it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
see
if the official picks up on that, whether they're going to put more time on the clock.
There must have been a 10-second runoff of some kind because there were 16 seconds when when that false start happened.
Boy, good job in keeping an eye on the clock. I kind of lost track.
And it doesn't make any sense how that play took 15 seconds.
All right. Well, I would try the Hail Mary full of grace and see if the Lord is with us.
I go to Robinson.
He's just going to down it. So we're going to have overtime. I'll tell you, I think the last overtime game that I did on Space Coast Daily was that memorable Cocoa-Vero Beach game at Vero Beach, which Cocoa won. It was like 43-40. I can't remember the final score, but that was a classic. And I think this is only the second overtime I remember doing here at Space Coast Daily. So, again, a special Monday night edition, and it is not disappointed. We're tied at 27, so.
Not the first overtime game for Merritt Island this year. They have a 1-0 record this year with that's a overtime win that they had was that last week, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now in the NFL,
a week and a half ago. Now we're on Monday.
Now in the NFL, when you go to overtime, you want the ball first if you win the coin flip. But in college, usually you want to go on defense first, right?
Correct.
Because then you can see what you have to get if the other team scores. If it's a field goal, then you know you need a field goal or a touchdown.
Exactly.
So if you win the toss, you can put the defense on the field first and do it that way.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And is there a 2-point conversion after like the third set of series? I'm not quite sure what the rules are, but
I'm gonna have to.
In college, you have to go for 2 pretty quickly into the overtime if it goes deep enough.
Well, I think if you are Merritt Island, you want to make sure that you have the advantage with your field goal kicking unit. You feel really confident that you have the better field goal kicker, but you also want to make sure that you don't just settle for field goals. Still run your game plan, still run your offense, and not get too conservative, because you can see that from time to time where teams will, play outside themselves and play too safe.
Yeah.
And but that's one of the advantages that Merritt Island has, and if your defense can hold Ed White to a field goal, or I don't know if Ed White really wants to attempt a field goal in this game.
Now again,
so it could be 4-down territory for him.
Again, I like this overtime philosophy in high school and college, because we now know in the NFL they changed the rule where if you kick a field goal in your first possession, the game continues. But if you score a touchdown, the other team might never ever be able to touch the ball. I just think, in baseball, you don't end the game at the top of the 13th. The home team gets to bat in the bottom of the 13th.
Right.
I just think you need to. I don't know why that's a difficult rule to change. So, my thoughts anyway. We could do a podcast on that, but I don't know if anybody would listen. So, but I just think fair is fair. I mean, both teams should have a shot. So,
well, this is going to be a huge opportunity here for Merritt Island. They're looking to go 5-1 on the season, and if you're able to go 5-1, that sounds a lot better than 4-2. And I think for Merritt Island, just you don't want to play outside yourselves. Play the game plan that you've played to get up to this point, and you feel really confident about your field goal kicker if you need to use him. But I think Robinson's had a really good game here tonight. I try to get him the ball a little bit. Tobias Semper has kind of gone a little bit quiet thus far. We haven't really.
Yeah, we haven't heard much from Semper. It's been mostly Verpale and
so
and
maybe
Robinson.
try to get him involved a little bit with some jet sweeps. Maybe spread out Ed White a little bit.
I think with Merritt Island, they weren't too discouraged the game was moved to Monday, because, again, they've got to bye this Friday, and they got Old Galley next week. But for Ed White, a little bit of a disadvantage. They go home and play Atlantic on Friday, so they've got a very short week. I mean, that's kind of the way it just turned out.
Yeah.
But for Merritt Island, it's not a bad thing, because they're going to have 11 days off after this, and you can get either rusty or well rested.
Yeah. And I would, you got Delvonte Williams, who has had a great game tonight as well. He's been the workhorse, and he has really shown the ability to be able to take a team on his back and lead them to victory. So, you have him as well if you need to lean on him. So let's see. We got the coin toss.
Yeah, we only have one co-captain from each team. This isn't like the opening kickoff. We have 3 or 4 players from each team. It's Caden Herrick is out there, and I'm going to try and identify who the Ed White player is. So
Ed White's the visiting team, so they'll make the call on the coin toss.
Yeah, what would you choose, heads or tails?
Tails never fails.
Oh, that's a good rhyme. Okay.
Of course, we'll never know what it is.
Do you dread calling heads? Okay. All right, let's see what we got.
Looks like Ed White won the toss.
Okay, I assume they're going to go on defense.
So Merritt Island's going to want to defend.
And then Merritt Island wants to defend a certain goal. So
yeah, because you want to go with the wind. So
go with the wind.
They'll want to defend that end.
Yeah,
to the right. Sorry for our audience. I mean, we're looking at the wind right now, but you want to defend the right side because the wind's blowing from right to left.
Yeah, you don't want to do Bob Seger against the wind. You want to ride like the wind, Christopher Cross.
Right.
Right? Okay.
Right.
Trying to pull up Chris Berman there, I guess. Ride like the wind. Anyway.
Oh, it's been a great game, JC.
Oh, yeah, I've enjoyed it. It's great to be with you. It's a Monday night. I got to get up early to substitute teach tomorrow, but hey, I'll battle through it.
Hey, it's Monday Night Football on Space Coast Daily TV, special edition. So
I might stay up for a little bit for Seahawks, Lions, and Titans and Dolphins. That'll still be going on, I think.
Yeah.
By the time we get home. So, what's that?
Seahawks are down 21-7.
Seattle's down?
Yeah.
21-7 to the Lions? Okay. How about those pesky Dolphins, though, without Tua? And they're starting Huntley at quarterback, so I need to get that update. Being a Jets fan, Jets field goal. What's that?
Well, interesting decision here.
Tennessee 9-3. Okay, go ahead.
Interesting decision here. Merritt Island is going to be getting the ball first, and they are going to be going into the wind first.
Into the wind. Okay, yeah.
So
Ed White won the toss, but they go on defense, right? That's what it was. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so they start at the 10. Okay. That's what I thought. I think they called it the Kansas tiebreaker. All right, so 10-yard line. Let's see what Merritt Island can do here in overtime. If you're just tuning in, handoff Williams, and that's not going to get anything. The Green Swarm getting in, about 3 different players for Ed White getting in. And amongst the 3 was 22, Josiah Smith, but he had some help.
I tell you, they need to get Tobias Semper involved in this offense. So you just have not called his name too much. He's very quick, very...
So 2nd and goal, they lost 2 in that play. 2nd and goal from the 12. How about a fade pattern? I'd like to see that.
Yeah, Robinson's up at the top.
Okay.
They want it.
All right, back to pass for Pale. He's looking. He is sacked. He fumbles the ball, but he might have been down.
He was down.
Okay. So good break.
It could be intentional grounding if they wanted to rule that.
Good break for Merritt Island.
Looked like his knee was down.
Oh, okay. So this has not worked out well for the Mustangs so far. They lose more yardage, and it's going to be, in fact, they lost 3, and it's going to be 3rd down and goal from the 15.
Important here not to make a mistake. I know you want to try to get the touchdown. You're on your 15-yard line, but you do not want to make a mistake. You do have the luxury of having a good field goal kicker, or you have 3 points in the bag. Do not want to try to do too much.
Verpale out of the gun. He's looking toward the end zone, and he overthrows his receiver. That is Deshaun Thomas.
Yeah, that was going to be very... That would have been a Sports Center highlight right there if he would have came down with that. That was a very tricky throw, but nonetheless, a very
all right, well,
low risk, high reward, and you still get a chance to be able to kick a field goal.
All right, well, Liam Miller comes out, and this is certainly makeable for him. I tell you, he is a talented kicker. Again, 4 field goals last week, and he's got 2 tonight, I think.
Yeah.
So
he's a left foot kicker too.
Yes, spot the 22, 32-yard kick. It's looking good.
He's got it.
And it is very good. So 30-27. So kind of a moral victory for Ed White. I think you would take that as an exchange.
Yeah.
And now you have the luxury of either going for a tying field goal or going for the win. But again, Van Thang, I don't think he has much of a range. So it could be 4-down territory if they get it. They're going to get it to 10. So
very true.
I keep forgetting they don't have to drive down the field. They're going to get it to 10, just like Merritt Island did. So they're going to stay on the same side of the field, and they'll switch sides. So actually, I mean, they're in the range of Thang because he does kick extra points, and he's fine.
Right.
So we'll see what happens if they get to 4th down. If they make a decision.
So,
So in this case, it really is a disadvantage that Merritt Island only got 3 because Ed White's got a pretty good chance of winning this game.
They do. They only need 10 yards, but your defense needs this where you got to stand strong here.
All right, Boylston rolls out to the right, throws, it's caught, and he's into the end zone.
Wow. That's game.
I'm looking for a signal. Is there a
flag? We got a flag here.
Is it over there? Yeah.
Wow.
We got a flag.
That is huge.
Oh, that should have been a touchdown. I think it was to Laguerre, 44.
It's going to be holding on Ed White.
Oh.
And negate a touchdown. Oh, my gosh. That is a huge call in this game.
You know, they say you hold on every play, but I guess if it's real blatant, I guess you got to call, right? They do hold on every play. You can't hold outside the shoulder pads. That's the way I understand it. So, well, Merritt Island a big break, and it's a 10-yard penalty back to the 20. Now, it'll still be first down. So not a total loss, but certainly a little bit of a setback.
Still first down, but now you're back at your own 20-yard line, and wow, that is huge. Timeout Merritt Island. Probably a really good timeout here by Coach Murray. You want to make sure that you don't get burned by something like that again.
Hey, how many timeouts you get in overtime, do you know? Is it one? One? Okay, they took their one timeout, so you only get one of them. So, but good time for Merritt Island to use it, though.
Yeah, I think if you're Merritt Island right now, you just want to make sure that you're in lockstep and communication right now. You know, don't be surprised if Ed White gets a pretty good gain on the first down that they run no huddle and they try to get a cheap one on you and try to run up and get you out of position.
And I'll tell you,
you need to be ready defensively for a couple plays.
And I'll tell you, Ed White is probably thrilled that Merritt Island used the timeout because they could talk things over. So
yeah, absolutely.
You know, benefit for both teams, but Ed White is probably happy they still have one timeout.
Yeah, Ed White's probably got a couple plays already ready that they're going to run here, and if they go as planned, they'll follow the script.
Okay, again, we're in overtime, 30-27 Merritt Island. And Ed White looking to win it. Pass is going to be incomplete. He shortchanged it on the far side. Little button hook play toward the far sideline, but incomplete.
Second down and 20 right now. You're feeling really good right now if you're a Merritt Island fan. You just do not want to get beat on a seam route in the middle or in a draw. Ed White likes to spread you out and get you on different edges and isolation, so this is going to be very important for Merritt Island to just not get beat across the middle. If you're going to try to force them to try to throw deep on you, make them throw it deep into the corner of the end zone. Don't make it so easy that it's right up the middle.
All right, Merritt Island crowd making a little bit of noise here. So second down from the 20. Boylston, here comes the blitz, and it's a pass incomplete.
Great play call.
So good time to call for the blitz if you're Merritt Island. They got into Boylston's face. He had to get rid of it.
I like both play calls on both teams right there. I like how Ed White wanted to try to get their running back involved in that, but a great read there by the defense by Merritt Island and bringing some pressure. We haven't seen them bring too much pressure here in this game, and on that call, they bring pressure. Third down and 20 now.
And the Merritt Island crowd, look at Tyler Murray down there. He's trying to get the crowd fired up.
That's right.
He wants this win to go to 5-1. Boylston has time. He's looking toward the end zone. It's a Billy Kilmer wobbler. It's intercepted, and that's it. If you're Merritt Island, just go down. You don't need to advance it because the game is over. And that looked like a Billy Kilmer pass from 50 years ago with the now defunct Washington Redskins. That ball just did not get out there. And unfortunately, we got a Merritt Island player down as they celebrate victory. Now it's a little somber because they have to check on the injured player. But it's a Merritt Island victory. So,
wow.
Again, their only home game prior to this was that 35-28 loss at DeLand.
Yeah.
And now they pick up their first home win of the year. It's hard to believe. Now they got like 3 or 4 at home for the rest of the year, so things are looking good for the Mustangs.
And they had an overtime win against St. Cloud, and then
on the road,
on the road. So Merritt Island 2-0 in overtime games right now. So the Cardiac Mustangs are 2-0, improved to 5-1 on the year.
And Ed White, I think they're going to have a pretty good season. They fall to 3-2, so their 3-game winning streak is snapped. They will host Atlantic Friday, and again, you always like going into a bye with a win. And Merritt Island's going to be off for 11 days and have their big showdown with O'Galley a week from this Friday. So, it's going to be a fun week for Merritt Island football. I mean, they'll probably practice a little bit later in the week, maybe take a little time off, and then get ready for O'Galley.
Man, I got to tell you, it is pretty concerning, though, for Merritt Island. The injured player, I believe that is Robinson.
Ooh, really?
Who actually came down with the interception.
Number 4. Boy, what a night for him, but what a terrible way to end the night.
Oh, my goodness.
3 touchdown receptions, an interception, but now he gets hurt in the play, so he'll have 11 days off. Hopefully he's better. Might not be practicing this week.
Is that number 9? I can't quite tell on the number here.
I thought it was 4. We'll double check here, and then I guess we'll sign off for the evening. But, what a win for Merritt Island. What a football game on a Monday night. And, you know what? It's 9. I think it's Hasty. Quay Hasty, who's a backup running back and a backup defender on defense. And what a big interception. But that ball was severely underthrown, and Hasty had a pretty easy pick. But, hey, good for him. He picked it off, and Merritt Island wins.
Wow. Well, I think our player of the game, it's pretty easy to decide who the player of the game is. It's Robinson. And having three touchdown catches here in tonight's game. And, was just so dynamic on the outside and stretching the field. And Verpale had a really good game as well.
Oh, yeah.
He made great decisions for the most part. He had 1 interception, but, 3 touchdown passes and 1 interception. Over 200 yards passing. Yeah, did really good, and he played really well. So did Levante Williams. He played really well as well. I mean, over 20 carries in this game.
And I guess Verpale's going to be the full-time quarterback because I did the game with Juan Rodriguez when they played DeLand there, and it seemed like Hartman and Verpale were kind of sharing time under center.
Yeah.
If one doesn't play quarterback, the other one goes out to be wide receiver. But it looks like Verpale is the guy. And again, we had at least 1 or 2 previous Verpales who played here, so the family history is really good. I mean, he's a very talented player. So,
JC, that was fun.
That was fun. It really was. Great working with you, and glad we could bring it to you on this Monday night. Hopefully we got some good ratings because there weren't any other games on this high school slate. So tune in for a game Friday night. I'm sure we're going to do Norland and Cocoa and check out some of the other games we might be doing. But some of us will be right back at it in 4 days. So it'll be a short week for us. So.
Yeah. Awesome.
Okay.
All right. Well, thank you very much, guys, tuning in on Space Coast Daily. And JC, go ahead, sign us off.
All right, JC Marolds for Zach Clark. Great to work with him. And, this night was a classic. The final, once again, in overtime. Merritt Island 30 and Ed White 27. So for Zach Clark, JC Marolds signing off. Thanks for watching. Enjoy the rest of your Monday night. Again, this is SpaceCoastDaily.com.